No, 20 seconds.
Oh my guys.
18 seconds.
My guys.
15 seconds. We still got 10 seconds. I feel like Bill Burr when he does his Philly rant. He's like, still got 7 minutes to go. That's one of my favorite all-time sets. If you've never heard the Philly rant by Bill Burr, then, well, I mean, okay, well, make sure you're into comedy. There's a little bit for everybody out there, and I understand everyone has their own flavor. I happen to think he's really funny, so I think it's one of the best ones of all time. But just a big shout out to that. But we're back. It is now past 2 o'clock, so look, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, everybody. This is not network TV. You know, we go, like, sometimes we'll be waxing poetic or saying whatever past 11 o'clock, and it's absolutely fine. I see the position board still on.
Still got Joe on there.
Joe and, Arnaz.
Hey, Bjorn.
Arnaz, I paid for locates on RNAZ, although I'm not in it. The only trade I have is Marvell to the short side, but 88. Isn't that weird that I just flipped to the stock and saw 88 and just said 99 for some reason? No, 88% to the upside and at VWAP. What's interesting, though, is this thing broke a day-long trend, and yeah, I feel like if it doesn't regain VWAP, if it breaks it, I want to be ready in case there is a little bit of a plunge on this bad boy. So, have I seen Ostentatious Productions just asked me if I've seen the movie Old Dads.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's a Bill Burr movie.
That I have not seen. I mean, I like his stand-up. I mean, I've seen him.
Netflix or
he's in a few things. I mean, he was actually in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I actually have not seen that. I loved him in Chappelle when he does the Samuel L. Jackson beer. That's one of my favorite sketches.
We are
sketches as well. Sketches, they're sketches.
Yeah, that's sketchy. All right, so we're short Nvidia. We've been shorting. I mean, Nvidia finally. Look, we made the mistake. Honestly, it's a mistake. We made the mistake of not following our plan. To be honest with you, we didn't really want to short this thing until right now. We said between 126 and 128, so we started it right here, was able to take a decent advantage of it into the downside, and then we reloaded. We took it out again down there. So these outs right here are dollars. It's like we're shorting here 126.50, right? These fills right here, maybe I can zoom in a bit more, are one right there. So these fills right there, shorting up into 126.50. Those outs are 125.60s, 125.70s. We reshorted again up into this area right now. I am shorting Nvidia until we break 128. Like I've already had that plan. It was the plan from this morning. There's 128 right into here. It's a huge move up. Ramin and I bought this yesterday. It's been a great little rebound day for Nvidia, up that 7%. I'm not in the money 7%. I bought it like 119 or so. It closed yesterday. Actually, yeah, yesterday it closed at its lows, didn't it? Yeah. Well, 119, yeah, okay. So it's up like, on it's 6-7% basically.
It didn't close at the low.
No, I was just looking. I thought it did, but it closed, it closed at 118.50-ish or so. We did, I mean, you could have got a better price. Like, we could say we bought it yesterday, but you could have got a better price this morning as it falls all the way into 117 and straight up $10 straight fire right now. So we'll wait to see what happens with Nvidia. We are now short right here at 6. We're just short right here, so you can see that average price. Yeah, we'll see where that can go. iBit, nice move today, 102 right now coming into play. Rigetti, actually, our last 5% there got stopped out once it broke lower. We actually never got higher than 1320-ish today. We had a pretty good fill right there. We've left Rigetti alone. We could have probably bought it off that $12 mark. I think we can have a look one more time. Okay, here comes Nvidia right now. So nice downside push. We were waiting at 25s. We didn't get it. It just stopped at 31 for some reason. So let's take out some 38s right now as here comes Nvidia just diving a little bit like we're bidding 25s. It went to 26 there. Oh, well, we'll get that in a minute. But right now, nice move downside for NVDA.
You got to bid 29. That is the best number out there. Shout out to the greatest right fielder in Blue Jays history, Jesse Barfield. The only thing I'm in is a VWAP 103 trade on Marvell. Like most of the chip names, not everything was down. You know, Texas Instruments actually had a pretty decent day yesterday. Who else? There was like maybe two other ones that weren't terrible. No, but Marvell was 20 points to the downside. Broadcom and Nvidia were the worst. But this one took a couple of swings at it, but now it's just respecting 103. And one of the reasons I like this one short, I mean, it tanked yesterday like everything else, but it couldn't hold prior support levels at the 105 level. So, You're going to try and short this one off VWAP as long as it wants to respect it. That's sort of the thing. Like once it started respecting resistance here in the 103 level, that's when you want to play off of it. Random scenes, Jesse Barfield, yes, with the best arm that you've never seen. Yankee fans know a little bit about that as well, but the guy was an absolute beast. The other thing I'm watching right now, and it may not be any good. Like I'm only in one short because Amazon's trying to hold VWAP, but I mean, you're on the way to the downside here. So I think holding on to shorts until some confirmation that you've reversed this trend that Amazon's been in since its all-time high, because pretty much every high Amazon made today was an all-time high. And I'm sure some of these names that we're going to be end up talking about, though my guess is Nvidia and Meta might get more juice than Amazon, which Amazon's done pretty darn good itself.
All right, yeah, we're short Nvidia. I mean, we came here to short. We talked about the short. We're short again, and we have the power. We're here. We're ready to rock and roll. We're always ready to rock and roll. And there goes Nvidia, nice downside move. I'm at a half now of this. We're just trying to stack up, as we mentioned. It's been a great day, and as Neil just said, like Nvidia is going to be P&L #1, so it's going to be a monster day. We'll explain all of this if I can at some point. But here comes, of course I can. Here comes Nvidia 126.08 is what I'm bidding. Hopefully we get that filled. This is 60 cents now. Sorry, 50 cents in the money. But again, shorting something that's forming like this. Whoa, shoot. I just closed it by accident. I was going to say, it seems like you might be forming a little bit of a, maybe almost even, I saw someone write in the chat there, a bull flag to the upside right now. I mean, this is a big upside move trying to flag out right now. So I would say, yeah, like if, oh, sorry, that's Apple. Why did it load up Apple? They must all look like this, I guess, because it's been such a straight move higher right now. So, yeah, so very, very similar. So there it is. Obviously, Apple's at the highs. Nvidia's still trying to get there. But right here. So I would say this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to lose this level and then come back into 124, 123. But we may not lose 125. We may not even get back into 125. So I'm out of half so far of this little scalp. It's only 30, 40 cents. Let's see if it gets a little bit lower here for NVDA. My next bid is 126.08, like I just had mentioned. So look, we were just there. I could have bid 13s and got out, and then it rips up 40 cents. Just there's so much here with this name. There's so much liquidity. Look, 400 million shares again on the day. Like this is absolutely wild. The amount of just the sheer numbers that have gone through on Nvidia the last couple of days. 700 million shares yesterday traded, and here again today over 500 million for sure by close, 420 right now. All right, let's go back over, I guess, to the screen, and we'll start our rundown.
Welcome everyone to the afternoon rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The boys are locked and loaded, ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But join us during the How to Trade show and get into the chat. That's how you vote for these tickers. But you've got to be a subscriber, so make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. All right, here's a look at the triple Qs, the NQ and the triple Qs, the best performing major averages on the day. Up 1 1/3% right now is the NQ, followed by the ES, up a little bit above 2/3%. The Dow was the only one that was green yesterday. Today down, or sorry, green, but 1/5%. And then the Russell down 1/4%, the only major average red on the day. Here's Apple, guys, 3.82% coming into that 240 area, rejecting it for now. Good look, a second day play today on Apple. Look, there's really nothing Apple specific except the fact that they did release iOS 18.3, which has a slew of these Apple Intelligence features, though, boys. The one that I'm looking for is the one that includes an upgraded Siri. Apparently, we're going to have to wait till April before that one comes out.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't necessarily concern me. I think the lack of a catalyst, like yesterday, Apple was the stock that wasn't down, right? So that was your catalyst when everything was gapped down, and spectacularly so. Apple was essentially flat to slightly positive most of the pre-market. And remember that they didn't really spend an absolute boatload on Nvidia chips, and they did a bit of a different approach. They were seen to be a little bit of a safe haven, and it was a great long opportunity yesterday. Now, the difference between yesterday and today was, A, didn't get in early. So it was kind of geared up for the same move where it pulled back into a prior support level and then broke it out. Instead, it just broke it out today. And it felt like we were going to get the exact same move. And unfortunately, let me zoom back in. That's not what happened. I bought the first available dip, keystroked out of it. And I did a scalp trade off of the 38 level, but I was not believing in this top. It was just distinctly different once it got up here. And look at it, even back at this price at 38, look at all the sideways action in Apple. It just cannot seem to get off this schneid. If it can get back to, from here, making some higher lows, then I think you'll work back into the trend. Otherwise, maybe look for a VWAP pullback. Remember, this is the other side of the coin. Like up here, you just went in 2 days from the 200 period moving average to the 50 period moving average, and you went almost 10% to the upside. If you bottom wicked it, you can call it 10% and right into resistance. So it makes some sense that it had trouble at 240, making it a little bit trickier to buy that top. But as we said in the middle of the day, if you like stocks, when they pull back into and show support off key levels, it's not that it bounced off the 200 period moving average on the daily, it's that it hung out there for a week. You know, if you like it, you could miss it day 1, miss it day 2, miss it day 3, miss it day 4, and still buy it on day 5 off that 200 period moving average for Apple. So I think that's an opportunity missed if you're not looking at these kind of things and dip buy good stocks.
Yeah, I mean, all the way back up. We talked about the momentum earlier. And I mean, let's just, right now, there's not much there. I think you always want to, I mean, look at that 200 period rate off the open. And I think if, like, again, it's like Neil just said, like, yes, if yesterday was our indicator to go long, then we should have gone long once it broke yesterday's high. So like right into there, 232, that was a huge long signal, and it should have been taken. If you like the stock, you should buy it. And I mean, right there, that break right through there, that was the trade for Apple. So I feel like that was missed. I mean, there was not too many areas to get reloaded back. I mean, right there, the 50 period would have been fine, until it wasn't. But I don't know if you would have got enough juice to withstand that. You might be flat if you kept on buying that. But then right down into here, now underneath the 200 period, I would say it looks like it might want to retrace back to VWAP right now. But I would say you don't do anything. And if you do something, I think it's a break short. Let me see what this is. Hold on a second. Let me zoom this in one more time just to see what this is. I don't want to go short. I just want to see. So this little ledge here that breaks, like if we can get that breaking through 238, then maybe something, and then you use these as your outs, give yourself about $1. I think if the market does turn itself out, you're going to want to be on other names like an Nvidia most likely. But right there on Apple, nice downside push if you get it breaking through this 238 into VWAP. Other than that, like, I don't know. It's just... I mean, it's a breakout both ways, I get. I just don't know if we want to do breakouts now. We're heading into earnings. There's earnings tonight with Starbucks. And then tomorrow, it all starts after close. So we'll be talking the same like this tomorrow. But there it is. I don't think you trade it right now on Apple. You either got to wait for that to give up. And if it does, I think you could take it and use either the 50 or the 200. Or you go the other way around. If Apple breaks higher right now through this 239.20 area, then you could take that into 240. And you might have an absolute beast into the close. Like we could take out 240, and then you get into 241 and 242. So I would get more excited here about the break long, especially if these futures can hold this 21.5. But at the end of the day, it's this break right here that you're looking for, 239.20 or 238 downside. So you're stuck in the middle. But again, Apple, great trade. And we just learn our lessons. If it wasn't marked down. I didn't have it up today, or else I feel like it could be P&L number 1. But I didn't have it. We would have been long for sure. Not in my playbook, should have been. And that was the break right there. So I think tomorrow, let's just imagine tomorrow we open up and we're around this area. We're busting this long right here, 240.25. I'm taking that long tomorrow for sure. So it's on the radar now. It always is. It's Apple. But at the end of the day, missed opportunity for sure there. It should be way traded by me today, and it's not.
Another day, another all-time high for Meta. Great look today for Meta, up over 2%, was up 3 at the highs. Every high from now on, guys, is a new all-time high. This one reports after the bell tomorrow. Make sure to join the Market Recap show with Neil, myself, and Adara. We'll be doing a special earnings report tomorrow for Meta and Microsoft and others. So it looks like they're going to overhaul, Reality Labs, guys. One of the reasons that this one sold off aggressively in 2022, they did talk about spending about $60 to $65 billion in AI capex this year. That was all, though, before DeepSeek. I wonder if they change that number. I guess we'll hear tomorrow.
I don't know that you're going to get. I feel like it's really soon for anybody to strategically change their capex. Like, they just announced those capex numbers, and now I feel like everyone's going to give it a quarter. Like, we might not see anything this round, and obviously the market doesn't seem terribly concerned. You know, if people were if they were concerned here with Meta, then it wouldn't have been bought up. I mean, the way that it was in the pre-market and then off the open yesterday. But I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. As Truth said, every single print is an all-time high on Meta. It's just futures are getting a little toppish. I do have to admit, like, Amazon just pulled back into VWAP, and Meta, it's maybe doing a little bit of a head and shoulders thing here with the shoulder being like 680 to 681. You saw that sideways action where Apple was determined to retest 240 and then just decided to hang out for a couple of hours at 239. I don't wonder if you're not looking for a little bit of a curl. Like, I'm not at the point that I'm shorting the strong stocks. I think you still try to short things that are at key resistance levels, and this might have broken a trend a while ago for a short setup. I just think it's a long till proven otherwise, and I don't like any setup sort of randomly in here on Meta. Like, maybe if you look at this 675 opening range high consolidation, that or VWAP looks a little more appealing. We'll get to Amazon a little bit later. I'd throw Amazon in there because it's at VWAP, but yeah, we'll get to that one in a couple of ticks. But I think Meta is just a perfect example of that 50-period hold. As far as the earnings are going to go, it doesn't matter that they're going to make boatloads of money. Remember, there's no such thing as good or bad earnings. It's just price reaction. But this is one of those stocks. If they decide to beat it up, you can see where there've been golden buying zones. You know, the 50 and the 200 have been very well respected by this stock. So come Wednesday, or I guess Thursday, if we're down there, I think you got yourself a shot to buy.
All right. Yeah, look, Meta just continues to be that stock. I mean, it is literally, this has been like basically like a game changer for the longer term account. Just being able to have bought so much of that Meta down there at $100. Like, it just continues to impress. Like, I can't even, and it's part of the story that I say all the time to people. It's like, it's not even a new story. Like, this is Meta, like, well-matured company to the point where people aren't even using Facebook anymore, apparently. And, like, this stock is still going higher and higher and higher. I think with DeepSeek, it's better for Meta. It creates more, I know what Meta is. It creates more and more opportunity for people to build onto the platform and give better ideas into sort of AI, make it a little bit cheaper, and give companies more opportunities to invest with Meta and on their advertising platform. So I really, you know, I like this, and this could be a break again right here this morning, man. 682, 682.50. Looks like it wants to continue to work, man. This is Meta continuously working. That is for sure. There's news right now about Sam Altman posts on X that Microsoft has some big things coming. What a surprise. The Microsoft times X AI partnership is right here on Benzinga. Is going to be much, much better than anyone is ready for.
And he posted a picture.
So there we go. So did he post a picture as well? Okay, we can click on that right here as it opens.
Oh, you got it? Yeah,
there it is right there. So here are these two guys right now. Again, you know, obviously these guys both are long Microsoft shares, so take it for what it's worth. But there it goes, man. Are you ready for it? Right there?
Yes.
And if you are, then get ready for even bigger and badder things with Microsoft as earnings come tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
No, nothing. I was just saying we're going to get prepared for that because you're going to have Microsoft tomorrow and Meta. So we were just talking about Meta.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for everybody, but and this is nothing against Microsoft. I'm way more excited for Meta and Tesla earnings than Microsoft.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be interesting one of these years for Halloween. We should just do like CEOs or something.
Right here.
That would be an interesting look. And
Nvidia just broke one.
here comes Nvidia.
Oh,
Nvidia is actually next on the list.
Let's go talk to Sharif about it, but right now it's ripping up
to it being
into that
first.
127. We'll watch out for 128. That's our killer spot, so we're ready for that if it gets up there. Let's go, Sharif.
Keeps going here, Sean. Good look for Nvidia, 7.33% coming into that pre-market consolidation. I think that's what you're looking at there, Sean. From yesterday, that's the pre-market consolidation area from yesterday before we rang the bell and then all hell broke loose. A couple of rating agencies chiming in today on Nvidia. Tigris Financial upgrading Nvidia to a strong buy. They're doubling down here and raising the price target to 220. Morgan Stanley reiterating their overweight rating, but lowering the price target, guys, to $1.52. Didn't matter. Up almost 7.5 now.
Nvidia, I mean, before this trade was a big one. Now we're holding 40 cents against us. It's completely fine. We did this yesterday, man. Look at this short. This was really the trade. I mean, we like I said, you're done. I'm done trading at 935 today. There's the break down through 120. We talked about it setting up. We liked the trade. We knew the momentum was downside. I mean, it started to go. It broke the pre-market level right there of 120.70, and we could have gone short there, but we were trying to wait out, be more specific. We waited for that 120 break, and man, when that happened, it went down $3 within minutes. So here's a whole bunch of covers. We tried it again. It worked, and then eventually we were able to get stopped out there. Nice bottom takeout, 120 all the way up to 122. So oops, Brittany, we did it again. And then right into here, we went short. Again, more money. This was probably about a flat trade because we do have, I'm guessing, we started the short there, a couple stop outs. Actually, this is probably fine. Maybe a little bit of an L. Take the money there, take the money here, and get money taken away from us right now. So as we go short on Nvidia, we wanted to wait for 128. So we talked about it. We are going to be putting on probably about 3 times the shares that we have right now once we get up in and around this 128. And if it cracks it, which you know what, it's kind of looking like it might want to do that, then we will have to get out of this trade and give back what we made on Nvidia. I want to try the short into where we struggled yesterday. And, you know, if it breaks that and it gets going, then great. It's almost like DeepSeek doesn't exist, right? So we'll just wait to see what happens right there. Obviously, there's the mark that we're really worried about, 140. This is where we were before, you know, that story dropped on CNBC, and now it's all the way to the downside and getting it back. We bought, look, it looks like we'll lose on this short, but we bought Nvidia yesterday. You know, we talk about buying the best names whenever there's opportunities to do that. And yesterday, Nvidia got right into, and I'll pull down the e-signal chart. Nvidia yesterday got right into the 200 period moving average. And that's a buy for me 10 times out of 10. We talked about that over and over again. So today, with it being up 7 or 8%, we got that question early from that viewer. And they said, hey, if I bought yesterday, what should I do? Well, I mean, we wrote down here, get short, 126 to 128. So the fact that it's up here doesn't really surprise me. In fact, it's right part of the plan. So if you're looking to get short, or you're looking to maybe exit out of some of your longs from yesterday, maybe perhaps now is a spot. Put some of that 7% in your pocket and regroup. Some names don't even move 7% on a year. And right here, you're getting it there from yesterday. So good move for Nvidia. Let's see if it pulls back off of this 127 area.
Yeah, the biggest inside day that you're ever going to see on notional. I mean, forget about the notional. 1.1 billion shares traded inside of this range in 2 days, which is obviously, I mean,
It's
look,
quite a big range.
Oh, you know, it is a big range. I'm saying it's the biggest. You'll never see anything like, well, okay, until the next time Nvidia does this, but you won't see anything like this. I had one trade. It kind of did something different right in here at about 1150. You can see the parabolic move up. So I played like a mean reversion. Like it broke the mean revert, and then it shorted it right here, and they could not break underneath 125. I moved over to Marvell when that happened, and I'll just sort of slide this on over. I moved on over to Marvell because Marvell was sort of holding underneath VWAP, but even this is not trying to challenge above that 103. So might have to jump out of the last of this Marvell trade if we break out the 103 quarters, because when Nvidia goes, I mean, Marvell's just trying to follow it. I like the short in it because Marvell wasn't at the highs like Nvidia was, but if Nvidia breaking the highs, might have to jump out of that trade. Let's go talk some Amazon, another all-time high. I mean, there's too many.
Took the words out of my mouth, Neil. Yeah, 241 and change, I believe, is the high we got into. Below that right now, 238.84. It feels a long time ago that we were at that $200 Bezos shelf, but yeah, that is the deal. No specific headline on this one, despite the video we showed you in the morning with the drone dropping the package. I don't know how many feet, guys, but yeah, coming in off the highs, up 1.5.
Let's say 30 feet? I don't know. I saw the
Yeah, no, I think it was probably more like
Was it-
5 or 6 feet.
I don't know.
It's just the way the video looked.
I glanced at it once, but nah, it's cool. It doesn't. Amazon's not dropping much these days. The stock price, at least.
Nope.
They're dropping a bunch of packages off at my place. I can
Apparently.
tell you that much, over and over and over. Like, I didn't buy it. My wife bought this. I don't know. It's like a holder. It's a holder for. It's not an iPad, but any tablet. But it's like, I don't know why we needed it, but like it's like a TV stand holder. Like if you're sitting on like a
Yeah, I know.
couch or like
I know.
you know those ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you could just put it on the counter and.
I always thought you could use it like if you're,
I was trying to.
yeah, you're watching something, like it's on the counter, you're watching it, you're looking for a recipe.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, but you can also just put it on the counter.
Lots of things.
So I was like, but you could also listen to like if you were like you play like a cello or violin or be playing a musical instrument, perfect for that.
Yep. It's a
My
stand.
daughter plays a
It's
recorder,
stand.
but it's basically just a stand. I don't know why we're buying it, but it's Amazon, so we're doing it. Amazon, I love the fact that it's trying to hold on to VWAP as we speak. That and 236, because that's the 236 in the third. That's the prior high. Now, this morning, it was a simple all-time high breakout, scalp into 38, did take it again off 39, and then trailed out. That was a bad one, but that same level is going to be essentially VWAP in here. So it's trying to, there it is, a little triple top. Hasn't really broken the trend since going down here on Amazon. Okay, actually, no, technically, I mean, if you, yeah, you know what? No, it's breaking the trend right now. So Amazon is setting up, as I literally say that I should be getting into this one. We try and pick it up off the 239. It's an absolute beast of a stock on the daily chart, but it did come back in. Like you saw the chart of Apple going sideways off the highs. You saw the chart of Meta, which is much closer to the highs. This one pulled all the way back to VWAP. Required some patience to wait it out, and now I think you can try to rally going into the close. And we got plenty of time, and Amazon, just like the rest of its brethren, it's a powerhouse. Simple as that.
All right. Yeah. Look, I'm glad that we didn't sell this name when it broke through the highs. I mean, this was looking pretty juicy right here when we broke through that 215 area. We had initially bought, I mean, I'm hoping that we can have similar love for Nvidia on buying some dips, but like this name, if you ever see something at the 200 period moving average besides Apple, I didn't buy that dip. Generally speaking, we're going to be involved with some of those names. So right here, right now, we're in this, and we're in it down here. So it's almost up. It's up like $75 from those levels. So I mean, Amazon has been an absolute monster from this 50 period for this 200 period moving average. So yeah, retest, blast. We told you 220 didn't even happen, so that little markdown doesn't really matter. But down into there, 236, 237. I really like the stock. I think if you're long, no point in getting out of it until this trend breaks again. So right now, you're up on an island a little bit, but I think you can keep going. Amazon, the story's not done. It's just getting started, actually, with Amazon. AWS is going to be big, and as the world starts to get more attached to Prime, we talked about NFL on Thursday nights and so on and so forth.
Yeah, buddy.
I really like the opportunity here for Amazon. So yeah, keep going long. Today, it's down from its highs, but we like the stock up 2%. I think it has to be on your radar every single time the NASDAQ is up.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say this has nothing to do with Amazon, but I thought of this when I was thinking Amazon Prime. I don't know if you were here. The boys were saying that the Paul brothers are gonna fight each other, but Netflix isn't gonna get the fight.
They're not fighting each other.
Well, I didn't believe it at first either, but they're going to fight each other. To me, as a Netflix shareholder, I'm like, please, Netflix, get that. But
Why? I don't want to see that fight. That fight is useless.
I don't care about what it's not. I just care about Netflix getting the fight because a bunch of people are going to watch it anyways. That's all I care about. But apparently, it's going to be on Sharif?
HBO Max.
HBO Max is going to have the fight. apparently.
Who's that? Disney? I want to go short then. Who owns HBO?
HBO Max?
That's a horrible idea. That's a horrible idea.
People watch it anyways. I don't care.
But you watch that? Two brothers fighting each other that love each other that are just doing it for money?
Here's the
that
thing.
you know it's for
I
money?
didn't watch the Tyson fight. I didn't watch the Tyson
But at least
fight.
there's Mike Tyson there.
But again, like I'm not the guy who loves
believe
and
that
watches
that's
those
actually
fights, but I am
There
the
we
person
go.
that was happy that Netflix was able to benefit from it. I was only upset that Netflix did not get this because I think that's something they're trying to get into. And I think it can bring them some money. But let's talk a little bit about something that is striking.
You're better off watching
today.
WWE or something.
I
like
love
that
WWE.
Oh, I know.
Well,
that's
not-
what
not
it
as
is.
much-
This is
not as
this
much
is-
anymore.
This is like a I get it. I'll take it back. Like if this is a pre-planned scripted thing, then I think it'll be hilarious and it'd be great. But to actually watch this fight as a fight,
But he's a showman. I think
but
I
I'm
watched some
saying-
of the YouTube clips of.
yeah. I mean, Paul beat Mayweather or fought Mayweather. They drew.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'd rather
obviously-
see that fight again.
Well, that's not gonna.
Logan Paul. Yeah, Mayweather wouldn't take that fight. No way.
Floyd's.
He wouldn't take it. He'd
Floyd
get
don't-
dusted.
Floyd don't care anymore.
No. Floyd would lose that fight.
Floyd doesn't care.
Okay, back over to Sharif. I cannot believe they're doing.
Hey guys, all right, CrowdStrike, what a day. 9% in the green right now. This is all-time highs, by the way, anything that we print here. So the third name we're bringing you on the day that's printing all-time highs. Looks like they achieved 100% detection, 100% protection, and 100% accuracy in the 2024 SE Labs Enterprise Advanced Security and ransomware test. That's a whole lot to say, but it was really the reason we're moving up aggressively on the day. I just want to show you guys this chart. That right there, all the way down there, that's Black Monday. That's the yen carry trade, the unwinding of the yen carry trade. That was $200. If you bought it up there, you're up over 100%, guys, because we just took out $400. What a move for CrowdStrike.
HBO. I don't have HBO Max because here in Canada, you have to have Crave. That's the the one thing that I don't pay for. Sharif just said he'd give me his password for that. Okay, well, now I'm gonna watch the new Game of Thrones. There's
don't
like
have
2
Crave?
series out there. I can rewatch The Wire.
Yes.
Shout out to Sharif. He just said he's giving me his password for free. He's sending it to me right now. I'm logging in and I'm absolutely abusing that privilege as much as I possibly can. Thank you very much, Sharif. CrowdStrike is a beast. Okay, stop me if I've said this before. Actually, don't, because I'm gonna keep talking. All-time high. So what do you say to something making an all-time high? Just buy the dip. It is what it is. I'll candidly admit I bought Palo Alto, Pan W. That was my dip buy off the 200 period moving average. I sold the majority of my CrowdStrike to buy Palo Alto on the dip. And it is basically like marginally made me a small amount more than if I had just held on to CrowdStrike. It kind of doesn't matter. I just wanted to be mostly in one cybersecurity name there. It is what it is. It doesn't make a difference. I think when you get into these type of breakouts, when you're looking for the continuation play, and certainly that's what you're getting here right now as we speak, but I'm maybe talking tomorrow, you want to just continue to find buyers like this, where when it dips, it's obvious that people are perfectly willing to buy the dip at fresh highs. So we know that cybersecurity is not going anywhere. I think some of the boost, I think it's fantastic for them. It hasn't been the best for some of the not the nano names. Talking about like Rigetti's and our quantum names. That can be good for them. And I think obviously these guys are, along with Palo Alto, best of breed. And we're a broken record over and over again. You buy the dips on the best. I preferred consolidating into one as opposed to holding both. And just to prove how obvious that is, it literally made no difference. Like Palo Alto is up from when I bought it 20%, but I think I made an extra, it's like 1.5%. And then you probably throw in, it doesn't even matter. Like the execution time was probably most of that alpha. I could have just held on to CrowdStrike and it would have made absolutely no difference because they're both the best.
Yeah, I still have CrowdStrike.
Can't lose. It doesn't matter.
Some of those levels, no, you cannot lose with CrowdStrike. So, all right. So, I mean, I like the stock. I'm still focusing here on Nvidia, but CRWD. I mean, it made that base. I was just looking at it here on the e-signal platform, and it's like it just based out and now it's breaking out. So again, like the stock, again, like I only bought it down here, so I'm long in here. I haven't sold any of it. Nice move. Don't have that many shares, but again, CrowdStrike in the space. I think you also got to look at macro reasons. It's because right now, with a lot of the uncertainty that there is, obviously, right now you want to be able to watch out for hacks and things like that. We talk about DeepSeek and all this stuff. It's like, you know, you just got to be careful right now. And I think that the right space is here, right? I mean, we all want to be into security. You could do that. There's a couple of different ETFs that you could also hit, but CrowdStrike and then Palo Alto would be the ones for us. I mean, there's Fortinet, FTNT is another name that comes into my, ideas right here. And that one's been rocking as well. And this looks very similar to CrowdStrike before we broke out. So if you're looking for a play, like we're trying to be like Gretzky here, you know, skate where the puck is about to go, not where it's already been. So if you're talking about right now trying to get through a level, this could be the next one to break out right there, FTNT. So I think we might have missed something that was very, very key there that we talked about. That's a little bit of a change here for the recap show. Like, I think it's great that Sharif's going to be joining you and Adara coming up. It's tomorrow, right?
It's a special.
And then I think we'll probably do it on Thursday. And I think all next week we have multiple days where this is going to be happening. So I'm excited to have Sharif join the team, or Joe or anybody join the team there into.
Just always trying to give you more.
Yeah, exactly.
Alibaba spiking here. Let's go to the desk. I think Adara's got news here. Baba up 2%.
Oh, sorry, it's not China related, but I did just see that news. Really quickly first, Novo Nordisk, another ADR sharply to the upside, apparently getting FDA approval now to use their treatment as well for chronic kidney disease. So Ozempic getting some chronic kidney disease clearance as well from the FDA. Eli Lilly moving slightly on this in sympathy, but Alibaba, I got that news just as we did the throw, so great timing on that, Neil. Apparently their clouds, their Alibaba clouds, I guess they have this Quen. Apparently, they've just launched its new Quen 2.5 Max AI model. So what you need to know is Alibaba announced its AI model. But here's the thing. Apparently, this AI model outperforms DeepSeek's V3 in a couple different benchmarks, including Arena Hard, Live Bench, Live Code Bench, and its GPQA Diamond. Alibaba also saying that the next version of Quen will be even stronger. So apparently, this Quen model from Alibaba outperforming some benchmarks set by DeepSeek. So Chinese AI action going on here, guys. Back to you.
Okay, say that 3 times fast.
Chinese AI action.
When is that going to be available for us to use? I don't know. We actually have a poll in here. I'm going to get to that poll in a quick little second. I'm going to show you if we can't buy into the 91.5 here on Baba. But as sort of feared, I'm going to go over to MRVL for a quick little second just to give the update. It was making higher lows into that refresh level. So each time, not as good as the last, right? Like, look at that, nice trend up. Got to get out when it breaks contain, right? Like this, when Josh Allen breaks the pocket, you got to adjust your game plan. You know, it's just a different world out there. But Alibaba starting to pull back off of those highs. It did tag 91.5. That's also like this support level from it's not really, it's the high from the morning and a bit of support. You do have on the daily some resistance in the 92 range, so I'm looking for it to press through that. If we lose the half, though, I think I'd wait for VWAP, like give it 25 cents here, and if it can't hold on to this, maybe look for like the 91 to 91.25 level on Alibaba. Chris L in the chat just said Walmart flush. Really? Yeah, Walmart lows of the day. Well, okay, fine. Low of the day, but it just made a fresh high today as well. So just pulling back off of fresh highs. And broken record, 52-week highs, just bounced off the 50-period moving average. Leader of its space. Just how many times is it the same thing over and over again? That's because it's the right thing to do. Good stock, that's what they do.
All right. Again, we talked about loving
it's like every stock.
All right. So we just say bye-bye a little bit there because we're going to see what happens to Nvidia. We just reloaded it a little bit more up there at 127.30. It falls down. We buy a 127. So we're just taking a little bit of pressure off right now. I just got out of 5% there. I mean, I'm hoping for a downside push and we can get out of it a little bit more. But for right now, you're just trying to battle off this 50-period moving average, which is here at like 74, 75. So a little bit of a push down into those levels, and we'll try to take something out. But then let's just make sure that we're very, very aware. I mean, this has been upside. So here's the short here. We held it all the way back in. We're able to take about 70 or 80 cents. Didn't get out of it all, reloaded some of it here, got out again. And right now we just, you know, you're experiencing this with me as we go. So we're still waiting for that 128 to come in and eventually get stopped out. But we are waiting for many more shares up much closer to that 128 level. I don't even want to put on that much risk at this time. So we'll wait to see if Nvidia falls back in, taking something here where we've already bounced. Hopefully we can get that fill. And then after that, like, I think we can almost leave it until, like, this is 126. I mean, look, it's going up. I'm looking at dollar lower right now. So these exercises are just maybe more to learn. But I was just trying to find it to come back into this support right here. And remember, like, we could still, we're going to be taking, well, now we've added a little bit. We're going to double the position. Once double the position, triple the position, add double the shares, if it does come closer to that 128. And then if we break out through 128, man, we break out through 128 and we wind up taking that L. So if that happens, that happens. But for now, I'm willing to hold out for that. So, all right, market really blasting. So I think what you want to do is, we talked about Apple. Oh no, it didn't go through that level. Not really. It's just right here, right now. So we set a break. Yeah, we were like a break of that. Probably sends us into 240 and even higher. They're into the close. Apple doesn't move 4% too much though. Like on nothing. Remember, their earnings are coming in 2 days on Thursday.
Yeah, buddy.
So it's not like they're not moving on too much of a catalyst. Other than the only one that I can think is that they're the ones that actually haven't spent all that money into AI yet, right? I mean, we talked about building their own chips and so on and so forth. So we don't have that huge capex spend as posted, and we'll find out on Thursday, similarly to a Meta or to an Amazon or to a Google. But then you look at Amazon, Meta at all-time highs, Google, the next one to follow potentially. Remember, Google's still caught up in like search and all that kind of stuff.
That doesn't make no sense. Come on,
In fact, it's
Google.
only up 1.6. Yeah.
Why isn't it back at 200 yet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think it has a lot of talk about quantum and, you know, their investment into Gemini and things like that. If DeepSeek is exactly what it is, maybe Gemini's not.
Google will be all right.
Oh, I know Google will be all right. I mean, I think that's why I call it up. Like we talked about skating where the puck's going to go. I think Google eventually will be up here again. But 190 could get tested. It's all about earnings. I mean,
it's all about earnings, man.
you never want to make a play like heading into earnings. Like
I'm hugely a very big fan of. Well, I will very rarely buy in front of earnings unless if it's an exceptional opportunity. I think that's the time, because for the long term, who cares? Just one quick thing on Alibaba. If it wicks the top on a level on the daily, which when I pulled up, so I got in and then I looked at the daily chart, kind of there with you. We're like, oh, let's buy the dip into the prior high and then see what happens. But it's a news-based story that's running into resistance on the daily. You can see it. That's like 92.5. No. You know, like the second it does a wick top through the high at pretty much that same level, in, out, and if it does the pullback, what's the saying? Pull back into VWAP or something.
When there's a gap.
When there's a gap, you can pull back into VWAP. So if it does that, I want to respect that level on the daily. And I feel the times that you don't take the money on those first moves, we've seen it with Boeing when they have bad news, and sometimes in the afternoon. If you don't at least take that money, oftentimes the reversion comes in when the volume drops down. So you take the money and make the next trade. Let's go on to Adara at the desk.
We have a move here in NET. That is Cloudflare, and it is DeepSeek related. They just announced here on social media that they now have their DeepSeek R1 and Quen. So this is a Alibaba and DeepSeek catalyst. They're using this R1 plus Quen model on their Cloudflare Workers AI, which apparently can be used to solve math, coding, and complex reasoning tasks, and it's open source. So net here, Cloudflare with a DeepSeek and Quen related catalyst here, guys. Lots of AI happening today, of course. Back to you.
From Kunazara maybe. GME is running. We appreciate the super chat around here. Just hit the like, hit the subscribe. Be a fantastic addition to the community like everyone in here already is. and let's all get this together. So GameStop is going higher. So apparently, what are they using DeepSeek too? For, I don't know what the heck they'd use it for, but here's the problem with GameStop. And I'm not taking anything away from GameStop when it gets going as a trading vehicle. Position board down for a little bit here. I covered Alibaba, not in anything right now. But you're underneath the 50 period here. You're not breaking back out. This was great when it was on this. Remember the upward trend where you just play it when it was strong in the afternoons off VWAP? GameStop's in a bit of a different story. It's got all kinds of overhead resistance here, 27.75, 28.5, 29 change. So it's trying to round off this bottom. It hasn't really broken a big resistance yet on GME. So I'd be a little bit cautiously optimistic with this move that I'm seeing on Jimmy. Yeah, there might be, I usually look for fade plays in like AMC or BlackBerry when this is happening. But BlackBerry's kind of doing its own thing up 7.5 points today. By the way, hold on a second. And I'm hitting that not just because of BlackBerry. This Shopify's up 8.5 points today. That's all right. Shopify is about to get to its highs any second now. Okay, not any second now, but any day now, I guess is more reasonable to say. What an absolute powerhouse this has been. Where's my 200 period moving average on Shopify? You know you're strong when you are 30% away from the 200 period moving average one day after the market was in turmoil. Shopify has been a beast, and it's going to be all right. All right, I don't know if I'm getting into this Amazon at this point. Does look like it's starting to run away from this trend break. But thank you guys so much. We appreciate that super chat. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe, and share with all of your trading friends out there. This is the realest, and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
there it is.
So Nvidia right there. It's funny. What's up, Carl? Carl's like, oh man, maybe we get the minus $1 club. Yeah, maybe. I mean, this Nvidia, we wanted 128. It's here right now. Obviously, I wish I'd waited for a little bit more, but I said that we would start. I'm just trying to follow the plan, and today maybe this last note winds up going against us, which would be fine. I mean, that's what it is, right? So we're gonna wait here. We said 126 to 128, so we're short now at 127. So that's kind of right in the middle, but it is 65 cents against us and going higher. Those of you that watch us, or specifically me, I guess, trade every single day, you know that we can withstand this kind of a move. And look, if it goes against us, it goes against us. I'm waiting for more at 127.80, and then that's that. You'll see my price dramatically change. When that happens, it'll probably go to like 127.30s or so. But we just missed it by 10 cents. So we're going to wait to sit there. There's so much volume and so much energy in this name. It's ridiculous. Like Nvidia and the market right now, like rewarding those dip buyers from yesterday. So congratulations. We were one of them. And it kind of sucks that I'm cheering short now for Nvidia on the day, but obviously buying it yesterday in and around that 120 mark seems to have been paying off. But it's just really getting going. And I don't, you know, it's basically in that meme phase, right? I mean, it's just not stopping. If you look here over the last little while, you did have one pullback there. We could have probably taken a little bit more advantage of that when that was there. And this is like literally, this is a 1 minute chart. So 20 minutes ago, we were $1 lower than where we are right now. All right, so here we go. We're getting right into the space right now for Nvidia. I'll put on a little bit right here at 74.75, just because I don't want to miss that 80. So now that we did that, we'll put our other order in and around 82 or so, just to make up the difference. I didn't want it to come all this way, and then we missed that very, very top short. So we'll pay a little bit more than probably we need to right now for this Nvidia short, just to make sure that we have it. Now remember, my stop order is already in. If we break 128, I'm going to cancel and give it a little bit more room, like 128, maybe 11s. All right, I'm going to stop out of it all. I don't want to get too cute with this. There it is. We take our last position right now. And I said our average price might be 127.30. It's 127.43s. So we're out of the money, 25 cents right here. Let's see if it wants to work back. Downside. That's the only chance that we have right now. So, all right, we're getting ready to rock and roll. Nvidia's like super strong right now.
So much for Alibaba slowing down.
Yeah, I mean, this AI.
3.5, you know what? It is what the AI headlines. Maybe just try to, it's like the yada, yada, yada crypto at this particular point. So maybe sometimes you just got to treat it like that instead of, instead of like a regular technical trade, just be like, well, it doesn't have to make any sense. It's just gonna chew things up and spit them all the heck out. Alibaba, by the way, Alibaba's breaking a pretty big trend on the daily chart. This can have some continuation. The last time it broke away from this price, 2 weeks, it was at $120. I'm not saying it's going there, but why can't it get to $100? And when the trend is to the up on these Chinese ADRs, as long as the volume sticks around in the afternoon, which I'm usually very skeptical of, then I think you want to be able to join. It was a mistake getting wicked out of that trade, and I guess we should try to maybe rectify that if there's a reasonable dip buy. But I still like Amazon, and I don't want to get too far away from this. If the market continues its strength, Amazon's broken trend is now at the 240 level. We didn't get the last little dip off of this level into a higher low that I wanted, which was 239. So we'll look for the 239.5 on the way back in here. So eyeballs on Baba, Amazon, and GameStop because it happens to be moving. Let's just respect it while it's going. If that pulls back into VWAP, I might be able to take it. But here comes Amazon into that 239.5. That is the dip we're looking for. It is the same percentage as the market, but it is a little bit different here. NASDAQ's at the highs. It's just trying to get back to the highs, which is part of the thing that I like about it. If it can trend back up, it's got some catch up that it can do.
That's, man, it's there. So, okay, if you don't like this Nvidia trade, please, guys, you could take a 20-cent hit right now and get out if you don't like it. It just went to 128 almost. It almost broke and then just fell right back down again. So obviously our price here of 128, I wish that I had waited for that long, but right now it looks like we'll be 60 cents shy of that at 127.42, 43 here on Nvidia. I'm literally discussing this. We discussed it all day. It was coming right into this level. It's been a rocket ship. This move right there was pretty epic from that 121, that 122 sort of pre-market high break right there. Once we broke that, then it was really off to the races. So if you're able to catch that, man, good on you. That was a big one right there for Nvidia. Now it's starting to pull back in just a little bit. I kind of want to put some bids out. This 127.40, the last time we dipped into there was some issues. We could take off a little bit of pressure right now as it comes back in. Maybe we'll do that here for Amazon or for Nvidia, take it out for flat if we can. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take out 10%. No, maybe 15% is what I just put out there right here at 40 for flat. So if that comes, I put it to 45. If that comes out, then fine, and then we can let the rest rock. But this is not looking like a great trade. So we are going to sometimes lick our wound. As we always say, if you're wrong on a trade, that is fine. And you're going to be wrong all the time. I was talking with Obi about this yesterday. And it's just like, hey, look, we stick our necks out there every day and show quality trades that we believe are going to turn out to be exactly that, quality. Now, I like the short here. We're going to try it. If it blows up and against us, then that is trading, and we're here to do that. So, all right, that's the trade.
Speaking of, this is going to be eerily similar, but this morning in my note, I like Marvell at 105, and I know I've been in it multiple times, and oddly enough, it wasn't the 105 that was my best trade. Tomorrow. But we have Fed tomorrow, and it's I feel like no one cares about the Fed.
No, we made the comment.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. It's just this 105, and you're getting here on Marvell. It is up 4 points, but it is a big one. I want to look for a mean reversion setup, so I want it breaking trend if it gets up here. Clearly, it's done less work in terms of filling in the gap, which is, I think, a good thing for the short side of the trade. But instead of, I did try a mean revert, and I didn't stick with it earlier in the day at this price level, then waited for VWAP in 103 because that was a nice little round number for us. So I'm going to slap the trend line on it from VWAP. If it breaks the trend line, look for the short trade. If it does a steeper, higher low, then I can work that into 105. But I want to make sure that it's getting up to that level and then reversing itself and breaking said trend. Big shout out to Nimrod, as usual, for the super chat. Appreciate you there, Nimrod. Any thoughts about Wolf for a swing long? It reached 52 weeks low. And
oh, shit.
What?
Money.
Here we go.
Money,
Nvidia, yeah, go ahead
money.
with Wolf, but Nvidia just filled us in to that downside. So if you were riding with that 128, I just took a little bit more out there at 127.30 and at 127.46. So that was like we probably put on there, and we don't talk about share sizes of everybody around here, but we put on a position that, well, here, sorry, I'm still on Boeing. That was maybe a little bit much there. So let's just wait to see what winds up happening right now for NVDA to the downside. Even though I'm holding this right now, I think this is important to understand. I could punch out right now out of this position, and NVIDIA will be the P&L #1 on the show for all 4 traders. So that's, you have to understand, like, when we're talking about our trades here, I'm telling you, and I appreciate what everyone's talking about in the chat. Like, we are talking about positions here that can change quite rapidly. So if your trading style is like this, great. But if it's not, and you're using lesser shares, then maybe you want to hold this. But for me, that was a quick scalp out. I still don't even really love this short. We had to do that move right there. So it did fall back in. So that was kind of a relief there. But there we go, Daryl. Yeah, see, there it is. So Daryl right here too, talking about that 40 cents. So there it is right now. So let's go and figure out what's going on. What's up, Ike Release and everybody else? This could still blow up in our face, but we're here to take a shot with NVIDIA.
Yeah, so look, I got the mean revert on Marvel. Actually, thank you, because I haven't looked at TerraWolf, and I can't remember the last time I ever even looked at that stock. I have no idea, but I was able to sort of pull it up here, and I wanted to make sure. I'm gonna bring down a daily chart for it. The number of times we've talked today about the 200 period moving average, I reserve that for things like if I really like the stock, if I own it, if I believe in the fundamentals. That's what I'm usually getting at with the 200 period moving average, where I'll just buy it on the dip there when it holds that level. TerraWolf, I can't have that level of confidence in because I don't know this company. I don't know much about it. 20% short float tells you a few things, but not the entire story. So it certainly could squeeze to the upside if it starts breaking out some levels. But this is the kind of thing that concerns me a little bit. When it's a heavily shorted name that loses the major moving average, that generally means that the shorts are in control. And that's not a situation where I like longs, when the shorts, and we're talking about like hedge fund shorts, not day traders, when they're in control, that's not when I want to get into names like this. It's when they're scared that I want to get into names like that. That said, money can be made on these types of stocks. It's just not my cup of tea until they start getting a little bit nervous. And it's stair-stepping to the downside on TerraWolf. I don't know anything about their earnings or when they do report. This says it's not until March. So also, what's your catalyst? Because you always want those to have a catalyst. And if you're also telling me you're not reporting for a couple months, what's going to get it over that hump? I always ask that question. If you got an insight and there's a reason why it should, hey man, it bounces the 200 period and you have a catalyst coming, then go for it. I just don't know what that might be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they just said the Wolf CEO was just on CNBC.
Oh, is that okay?
I know. I saw someone post that in the chat. It might.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
True. All right. Let's just have a quick look here. I'm just gonna. Well, we just got it. Did we just get that, Phil? Where was that? 50s right now on this name. I'm gonna let it ride. We're now in a much more comfortable zone with NVDA, so we're gonna let it ride. We do have some lower bids right now. We told you what our average price was gonna be. It was gonna be in the 30s. It actually wound up being 40s, which isn't bad. I'd rather it be higher. I have to live with this now. I'm not.
Oh, he wasn't talking about that. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Nimrod, Neil, we'll get to that.
Oh, it's Wolf
in
Speed.
a
That's
couple
much
minutes.
better.
Right there. All right, we did get a dip down in Uber earlier. And yeah, there was a story about Lyft. I don't think we ever really got confirmation too much about what was going on there.
No idea.
So that was a great buying opportunity then. I like, there you see the volume. And the thing is like, not being here hurt this time, because like that's a capitulated volume candle. And, followed by a huge move, followed by volume, followed by next candle green. That is your take to go long right there on Uber. So probably be this pullback right into that candle. You could have been long here, 67.40. Nice dollar or so upside there on Uber, trying to make it work now back to the 200 period moving average. And again, without the story, I saw someone on the chat say there, you know, you don't have to take a trade to have the full story. I mean, that is true. It's just like right now, Uber being down 0.25 when it's like, you know, a tech name in this space. I like it. It was really working out all day until whatever happened. Someone got word of it maybe there, and then there, and then there. So it's a very, very like sketchy kind of a move here, looks like on Uber. So yeah, that's going to be something funny and interesting to watch for us right there. Micron, look, Micron, ever since that, okay, I better, that just, okay, well, we're waiting for 25s. That just dipped into the 40s again. You know what, I'm going to put out what is 5%? I'll put out 5% right there at 43. Okay, nice move down there for Nvidia. My next out's not till 25s, but here we come back in right now again for Nvidia. This is a big trade that we have on right now. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to end that way, but here we come back in to the downside. Remember, all in all, no matter where I took this out, our average price, which I think is important, I wish we could timestamp them somehow, was 127.43s, was really where we were short. I know now it says 69. It goes first in, first out. So it's like I've taken L's basically in my blotter on my net here. These are all L's until it got to 42. So everything underneath 42 would be a win. So other than that, everything basically on this idea that we had, if it's not under 40, I guess it was 43s or 42s, then it's an L. So right now this trade, no matter all the outs that we've had, is only now a 10-cent winner. So let's go. There it is. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. This is why we're here. We could be back to our highs of all day here for us, but Nvidia needs to work. We lost on the triple Qs. Looking at this now, it's like, what? We tried to short during this whole way up, man, and got run over until eventually we got out at 82. So this Nvidia trade, Neil, is a banger right now. This might be the biggest P&L name trade here for me this week. I know I said that yesterday, but this one right now, because of the shares that we have on, is probably it. So here we go. It's Nvidia right now. It's a monster trade. Like we said, man, we're trading with XXXXX amounts. So we're going to have to try to get out right now in and around this bottom. There it goes, Neil. It's 94s. It's 95s. It's a big trade. I hope you guys have it. Trust in your own damn systems. Neil and I just did many hours of video talking exactly about this, and now you're seeing it live right there. Some have balls to do this, some don't. We do. We are here right now to put this trade on. So Neil, oh yeah, it's a monster move. We're actually at our day's high right now with this trade. We're only out of half. We're out of exactly half of this move. Now a dollar club on this. But remember, our average price is 43. Monster trade here, Mr. Roberts. Big trade alert. Go. Let's go, Nvidia.
Yeah, go Nvidia. Love it to the downside. Take it for sure. And hopefully it brings down Marvell with it. This is the one I like, and we're going to keep on going with it. And apologies to Nimrod. I assumed you meant TeraWulf, and you actually meant Wolf Speed, right? So that one's on me. I'm not going to tell you anything different. Except for the fact that it should be even more obvious when Wolf Speed turns, because its chart is actually infinitely worse than TeraWulf. Wolf Speed, this will be simple. Wait until it makes a rounded bottom. Wait until it makes higher lows. It's exactly the same thing that I played into on Snowflake when it was making its bottoms. And they report tomorrow in the Gulf of all the bigger earnings as well.
Oh, man.
I'm like, I'll wait until after for something like this, because if it starts to go, it's a 33% short flow. It doesn't matter what you capture. It doesn't matter what you capture. It's got so much room to be able to run. So you got to be able to stick to whatever your plan is. If you've got a strategy that involves holding through earnings, more power to you. I don't like doing that whatsoever. So here we go. We waited for a mean revert on Marvell. I could redraw the trend line. Broke trend here, short here at 104.32. Give it to prior bar close high, and then we'll see if it can't get back into VWAP as down comes Marvell. Probably, I mean, some of it's going to be related to the market coming down, Nvidia making some highs. This was basically just following Nvidia yesterday. Not as much today because it couldn't really break out through the morning highs, but looking to see if we can get back into the key 103 level. VWAP, I respected it for the shorts into VWAP, so when it pulls back into VWAP, I will also respect the longs. And the other thing, Alibaba, yeah, $94 now on Alibaba, 4%. It is just, I mean, Baba just is not stopping here. The volume is holding up impressively here on Baba. after that news, they got their own. It is what it is. Like, you gotta respect. I guess you gotta respect some of these AI plays when they come out there, because that's the headline. But look at the volume continue. If it can manage to do this throughout Power Hour, that's different from what you usually see on the Chinese ADRs. There hasn't been a red candle or any kind of 3-minute to get the dip buy. But if I can see it do that again, I might take another shot at this to the long side. The first dip was good. Obviously, could have still hung on to it. That would have been even better.
All right, I just punched it at 20% of what we had left, breaking through 127. Thank you, Daryl, and everybody there in the chat. They're just like, you got to watch the trade, focus on it, and that's what we did, man. I mean, it's great. It's great to be here and be, this kind of sort of. Some people are saying that they don't have the opportunity to short. Like, I've always said this. Very blessed to be able to sit here for 20-something years and now show everybody, because we got a question about, like, how profitable are traders and is it a career? I've already told many people this over and over on the chat and everything. And I'm not going to get into it again unless you guys really want to know, because it feels like I'm just sound like a broken record about how I talk about all of this. But we can't sit here and promote to say that, we're honest and we're the realist if we don't talk real, right? So that is what it is, man. I'm here to trade, to host, and to do everything for you. And I just hope that this kind of a trade really shows you that you have to be patient, and then when the move happens, to be there to step into it and take the trade, be confident with it, talk confidently, and act confidently, right? That's the one thing, like, I'm even tell that to my kids and everybody, like, be the person that not only that you are, but, like, give the image of what you're trying to produce. And I'm trying to show you what is involved here with trading. And sometimes, obviously, we get a little bit emotional and it's like, okay, there it goes down. And I'm just excited to discuss these trades with you guys. So there it goes to the downside right now with Nvidia. It's 3 o'clock. Let's wind up seeing what happens. I'm just gonna hold the rest of this. I right now only have about 20 to 25% left of this trade. So that was a really good one. It didn't go down as much as I thought. I thought this could continue to go lower, but I feel like we did a fantastic job there, seeing the profits. And remember what we did. We talked about this area right here, and I was like, this shelf would be pretty good if this came through, and it came through. So, oh yeah, have confidence, take shares, put the money in the bank, and now I'll make money this way, but we'll make money this way with Neil reading.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
I'm gonna get a drink.
That's fine. We'll come right back to it, Ram. But I had to say Ram that time. No, and again, you always have to have your trading style. That's what I love about it. We'll show you different styles. I said exactly what my plan was for Marvell. It was like one of two things are going to happen. Either it gets to 105 and we short 105 like it did this morning, or I'm going to make a trend break mean reversion. There's VWAP. There's the higher low. There's the trend break. There's the entry on this bar break at 104.40. I got 34s, and now we're going to play it back into VWAP. So I like that kind of a trade. I feel like I had it earlier today, and it wasn't good. When it gave it to me, that's the same setup, right? I did the same thing here that didn't work, that is working now. And then VWAP was a good short as well. I like that one. Marvell's my best stock today, so I try to stick with it. But if you guys are skilled traders, but you're lacking capital, prop firms offer you the opportunity to trade with simulated funds or other people's money. And that allows you to showcase your skills. Access account sizes ranging from 5K to 500K, and you can start with as little as 20 bucks. But with over 500 prop firms out there, how do you find out which are the best? That's where Prop Firm Match steps in. Prop Firm Match is your go-to platform for finding and comparing only the most esteemed firms with proven track records and consistent long-term payment histories. Access over 4,500 verified reviews, explore payout histories, and discover the best current deals all in one place. Scan the QR code or visit propfirmmatch.com today and find the perfect prop firm for you. And knowing ahead of time which prop firms have the ability to pay you out on a consistent basis are it's a very, very important thing, obviously. So you got to be able to respect it there. Cling Daddy, shout out to you. We appreciate you. Celery too. TT777, Palantir at $80. Wasn't Palantir like $82? I feel like Palantir was a heck of a lot higher.
It was higher than that before.
Yeah, so that means it's pulled back. It was
Yeah,
at
look at the
$82 before. With the market starting to, I mean, the market's holding the highs. So gonna hang on to that short. I gotta get over to Alibaba in case that one wants to pull back with the market. And Tesla did a bit of a pullback as well. I'm gonna throw that chart up in the power hour here. I'm not pulling up GameStop anymore. I've moved my GameStop chart over to Tesla.
Oh, man.
We still like that Marvell. We still like Alibaba for a little bit of a dip buy. But yeah, you gotta have your own style of trade, and I like that sort of precision, that entry, and I'm always gonna make an adjustment. The second we broke this support level, 104, then the stop goes from high into the prior bar high. So same thing that we would do on any one of these stair-step trades. Simple in, easy in, don't have to sweat it.
Yeah, no. Simple ins and simple outs are all that it's about. And Neil is 100% right. It's all about your own style. That's why I always feel like the best questions to ask us is just, are we green or are we red? And then you just sort of figure it out from there. Like that to me, because we're not trying to be about like posting, oh my God, this was a $500 trade or a $5,000 trade or a $100,000 trade. We're trying to build the processes. Like what makes me happy is that like Obi and I were passing notes all day looking at what the top trades are because he wants to put on size also. And I said, dude, 128 is what I'm looking at. It's one of my number one ideas. So I just walked by and got a coffee there. And it's like basically me and Obi like bromance right there as we match out and take this trade and bang and boom goes the dynamite actually to that level there. So I think I just want to relax. We did get our coffee in red. Maybe we'll help. You know, it's kind of like that Redera situation there where maybe she wears red. Maybe if we show red enough on the show, the market will come in. But of course, we don't believe in that. So we're getting some more and more out on this as well. Right. Ramin goes, but you're wearing a blue shirt, so good one.
Why is that bad?
Exactly. She's
wow.
She's
Purple's a good color too.
I don't mind purple.
I love purple's a great color. I actually really like purple.
Color.
There was
But
a question.
The best color is green.
Money.
You know, and whether or not you are up or down on the day, make sure you do hit the like or the subscribe and make sure that you follow, you know, what we're doing. And, you know, if you want to know anything, today I've traded Nvidia, Rigetti, and the Qs, and that's it. Okay, we'll be down on the Qs, we'll be up on Nvidia, and we're going to be up on Rigetti. So we're going to go 2 for 3 today. And this position's not pending anymore because we are getting out of this. It just fell right back into our space again to get out. So this affords you the benefit again of getting in, getting out. And remember, if you're trading, like what I would do, and I should do this myself, and I have to get better at this, 100%, what's up to Adam to lose if he's even here, is that like when I'm like, this is the area that I'm looking at to get out, I should just put, like instead of having all of these outs, I get paid for each one of these, so it's a little bit different, but I feel like my net would be increasingly higher if I just said, okay, this is the level I'm waiting for, instead of just getting out like 10 times for 40% of the, like for getting out for 4 or 5% each time, if I just put one order there, it would A, look a lot cleaner on the charts and maybe make a little bit more sense to you, to everybody out there. But like we said, that's why we try to do a good job of explaining what we're doing. And remember, trading in simulation or trading, again, with risk parameters, you should always be responsible for your trades regardless of share size. Like if I'm trading 10, 20, 30, 50, 100x other traders, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's the win or the loss. If you're trading 100 times somebody else, but you just keep on putting up L's, that's an easy way to blow your whole account. And you guys have probably done that. Some of you have probably done that many times. But for me, you know, we have our rules, we have our spots, and until they stop working, we're going to continue to do this. So again, it's 312 right now. It doesn't look like Nvidia wants to fall down too much from here. It's an 80-cent winner, but at the end of the day, I was looking for lower, so I'm still thinking we can get that. And I mean, look at this. Like we just got out there in the 70s. I guess our best order was 80s there. Like, and it just popped up again another 30 cents. So like that might be another case to use less shares. It's just, it's very volatile, and that's what's going on right there. So again, thank you for all of the love out there. And we'll just keep on doing what we're doing here live on the show, including making the recap show even better.
Which I can't.
We now have 3 people on.
And I had a question for you about that because obviously, I mean, Thursday,
Yeah.
Apple's no slouch.
Yeah, Apple and Intel.
Apple and, well, I mean, Intel is a slouch. But look, actually, Intel, you never know. What if Intel names a CEO? Like, there's a lot. Look, if Intel names a CEO, that stock is going to do 100 million shares and go crazy as well.
Damn it.
But there was a question in the chat that I have to answer this because, look, Sunny's Gadget Reviews, you guys mentioned a trading firm that allows trading shares. What was that? So I'm not aware of us endorsing any specific prop firm.
Trading shares.
Right? But here at Real Trading, which is the prop firm that we trade for, you can trade equity, you can trade futures, you can trade forex. There are no options here, but that's who we specifically talk about, obviously. So make sure you do your homework. But if we're talking about a prop firm that allows you to trade shares, then we're talking about Real Trading where we are, because that's what we're trading for equities. We have not endorsed, to my knowledge anyway, we have not endorsed like a specific prop firm. So like very similar to I think what you just said in AMD, like, or Nvidia, like you're getting down into like a support level on some of these chips that just pull back and you're catching a little bit of a bid. So took some off at the 104 range. It's not really breaking down. Like it's gone 35, 40 cents in the money and we're not getting that follow through yet. Speaking of follow through, Alibaba does not care what you want. Alibaba cares what it wants, and it keeps on coming. Sunny Gadget Reviews, you were talking about Real Trading. There you go. You'll actually see it pop into the bottom of the screen because that's where we trade. We trade at Real Trading.
Yeah.
So you'll see it all the time there. So check them out if you're interested, Sunny Gadget Reviews. Unfortunately, not available in the U.S. Was that a call for Adara?
We have a new Trader TV Research original graphic here. Check us out on X at TTV Research. And this was actually inspired by something that Sean said, looking at how much market cap Nvidia lost yesterday. That was $593 billion. So what Nvidia lost yesterday is actually more than the market caps of MasterCard, which is valued at just over $500 billion, and United Health, which is valued also around $500 billion. And to put it in simpler terms, only 13 U.S. companies, including Nvidia, are worth more than Nvidia lost yesterday. So it's pretty massive. If you want to look at how this market cap loss is really contextualized in the grander scheme of things, check out this graphic here on TTV Research on X. I will put it in the chat as well so you can take a look, because putting out new content for you guys every single day, working on some graphics as well for the earnings watch party tomorrow. So definitely check that out on the market recap. Back to you.
So it would have been more than Visa at the lows.
I have some sad news. Brian Shannon will not be joining me tonight as he's having some technical difficulties. So, okay, no problem, my guy. All right, I just sent him the message. What's up, Brian?
Emotional damage.
Yeah, so I'll have some emotional damage there today, but it'll still be a Darren. You know, we'll go. We'll
Come
go,
on,
we'll
man.
go. No, it's sad.
It's fine.
Brian
No, he's a great.
I mean, I did this by myself for
Fantastic.
8 months. We'll be fine, but at the end of the day, we love to have banger guests because you're tired of me, that is for sure. And I feel wasted, that is for sure. All right, 127.80. Look, we can average back into this trade because right now we only have about 15% left. We were getting some more out. Like, I was feeling bad getting some out of this trade, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna try it one more time. But I'm not like, if I put on too many shares, then we turn winners into losers, and we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna wait. We'll put on a little bit more up here, again, into the 80s if we do get it. But Nvidia is super strong. You got to take advantage of these pullbacks, and it does pull right back into support. So I like that play for us there on NVDA if it does come through. Rigetti, a good stock today. I mean, we only had it once right there. We're very, very focused here today on what we're doing. So I think that's probably a good sign. Rigetti does break that low of 1250, and we wind up getting out of our last 5%. We talked about what percent we had. Rigetti, I thought, had a chance to go there today, only up 3%. We'll see what it does tomorrow, but I mean, I like the stock. It's 317. A break of that level could get going. The mistrade for me, and it's because I've been too obsessed with Nvidia and for good news, is just Alibaba. I mean, we heard the news right from Adara. She gave it to us. This is an easy punch long on AI news. I mean, we saw already what AI could do. I mean, if OpenAI was a stock yesterday, that thing would have been cut in half on DeepSeek. And then now today, Baba announcing, I don't even remember what it was, Quell or something like that, something to the upside there with Alibaba, and just straight fire right now in the booth of Alibaba. So nice move upside, a pretty, I know you had it there, but a pretty easy take long, just holding on to the long. And again, that's where different styles like this is a continued move. In these kind of markets, like going long 91.50, your target there, like you could have really leveled it. I mean, there is nowhere here. So definitely you want to scalp out of some of it, right? But on a trade like Alibaba, and maybe it's fading off 95 right now, not too much. I don't see like that wipeout volume spike here for Nvidia to show that might have been, or sorry, for Baba to show that might have been the top. Generally speaking, I'd like to see one candle that's a little outsized, but right now I don't. So I would try to, look, a pullback to the 50 of $93. I mean, then that short obviously would be great, but I would think that would be the next spot that you either look to reload your position or start a new one. 93 change. So that's the level right there. I keep looking up, like, because I'm looking at IBIT here as...
You see MSTR?
Well, is MSTR tanking? Because, yeah, NASDAQ right now is down, or sorry, Bitcoin right now is 102. And I was just looking at IBIT, trying to sort of make that move down. It actually held VWAP pretty good all day. I know it gapped higher, 20 cents, but this short has really been underneath it. This looks like a great break low side as well, breaking through 57.85. I know we both have on short chip names. I mean, I'm trying to look for something else. Tesla's 400. Go ahead.
Tesla's at 400. What's weird is that MSTR has been weak all day. It's only now losing VWAP. A bunch of people asked about Dell for levels because it's gonna be really easy to do before we go to Adara. Well, here, like it's at $101. That's support on the daily. It's a double bottom from yesterday. So like you kind of see it here. Like, but I don't like the falling knife idea unless it's a breaking of the trend. Like if it's going to hold that level, let it hold that level and then break the trend back to the upside and put your stop underneath the prior bar low or something along those lines would make sense for me on Dell. But yeah, crypto, weird, we're at the highs, Bitcoin pulling back, MSTR not looking good. Let's go to the desk with Adara.
I actually have here another way to play Alibaba if people are a little bit, worried about Alibaba's price tag. I just saw this BABX. This is a 2 times levered Alibaba ETF. I just saw that popping up here in the volume scanner. It's worth noting, not a ton of volume on the day, only about 1 million shares traded on the day. And always be careful with these 2 times levered ETFs. But regardless, I wanted to let people know, just as we talk about NVDL and TSLL, here is another way to play Alibaba, guys. Back to you.
All right. Remember, those are going to be good to trade, but not good to invest in, as you will lose DK.
Better name.
I was talking about this with Fabian yesterday because he was like about the Nvidia triple ETF or something like that, NVDL, or maybe it's double. Oh, hold on a second. So it's up 7.84% today. NVDL, right? Is that what it is? Yes, sir.
Isn't that 1.5?
That's great. It says one. Yeah, I was just going to check the time, the distance. 1.5. Yes. So it is 1.5 times. So yeah, my mistake. It's not going to be double, but there it is. It's what? It is.
That is,
I see it.
That's so cool. They'll do that. You do that a couple more times.
Hold on a second.
Visually, that's
NVDL. Cool. It says it right here. 2 times long. What? Okay, so it is. No, that's why I was refreshing.
Our platform has it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Our platform is wrong. So it's 2 times.
Okay, good.
Because that's why I was refreshing it. Like, look at this. 15%, right? 7%, 7.8%. Yeah. So it's exactly a double up. But
Camera
you can
A,
see,
camera B.
Yeah, it's like there's no trading.
Camera A.
Trading.
Camera B.
Trading. But anyways, NVDL. So I was just going to say, like, on a daily performance metric and things like that, it's going to be great. Maybe even over a month. But if you look at NVDL, shares of Tesla, apparently they're just hitting our ear right now, seeing some kind of volume. I'm going to get another piece out here at 50s on Nvidia. We just did that. So Tesla obviously seeing volume right now because, all right, so you are getting a rejection volume right there off of 400. So you get basically 10 or so straight up candles, then a little bit of a wick through 400. That's good to see. You don't want it to necessarily wick like 401. I'd almost rather it go up through and then hit that move back down, and that's what it does. So Tesla right there. Congratulations to all the bulls of Tesla, man. I mean, you guys were sort of left for dead a little bit there, as many, questioned the relationship with Trump and if it was going to be breaking lower. We do get Tesla tomorrow, which is going to be a monster. So I watch out for that, but looks like another fail there at 500, maybe soon, at 400, but right back in. So that wicked high is 400. I just looked at it right there. It's $400.20. So it looks like that's coming in right now. It looks like it's going to take it out. So now that wick high is definitely coming into play. So I think you could probably, if you're looking to go long now, you can go long Tesla against this bottom wick right now, 399.50. So as long as we take that out, you could put a trigger in to go long right now, $400.20 or whatever you want to do, and then use that marker right back into there, 399.50. So this is what I think about when I'm into a trade, and I think this is important that we talk about it, is where's my stop, and then where's the execution? So we were just going to go, we didn't take it because we're trying to go short in Nvidia, which we are. But right there, long at $400.20, you could have that trade with execution right there at 42. So give it slippage. This is $1 worth of risk, I would say, if you're long now. So if you have 100 shares, this is what goes through my mind, that's $100 worth of risk. So you got to be ready to do that if and when this trade works out or doesn't. So that's sort of the risk to reward ratio there and things that go through this guy's mind. And I mean, right now, I'm going to take another piece out. And I'm just taking out like 2 or 3% every time on Nvidia now, if we only took it out once. Because if we stay above this 50-period moving average, that's violation of the rules. We don't necessarily want to be short a name that is above the 50-period moving average. This time, it's a little different because we looked at Nvidia coming into 128. But for a daily scalp, I mean, momentum needs to change right away. So right there, we just took another fill there at 45s. Now here it comes back in. Let's get underneath and stay there for a minute. So I don't have any more bids on Nvidia. We're going to have to try to figure this one out together.
Well, this is one of those things. It is, if you're trading support and resistance, then sometimes you're going to be long at the bottom and sometimes you're going to be short at the top. If you trade mean reversions, you are most certainly going to be long at the bottom and short at the top. So that's what's going to happen every now and then. If this cannot break 103.75 Marvell after this lower high, I'll probably reevaluate. It's 3:30 already. And this morning when I was like, hey, Boeing loses a bunch of money and everything is still fine, well, that's not true anymore. Whoops. Why did I type a dot? It's hilarious. I never actually typed the dot. And then today I typed
Double dots?
Yeah, whatever. And then now I have to wait for this to load. So I'm just gonna, Boeing's having a bad day. That's what I want to get. There's Alibaba. I'm just gonna flip this chart over to Boeing for you guys. Because Boeing, that's gonna, whatever, you get the idea. Boeing's at the lows after breaking it out in a massive way earlier today. This is not what I was getting at when I was saying Boeing had changed its tune and decided to take all of that losing in stride and still decide to go up. No, this is the complete opposite of that. So that whole 3-day rule, it's still above the 50-period and the 200-period moving averages, but there's a decent part of me that says, Neil, if this stock loses the 50-period again, just say forget it. It's had a little bit of a run, and it's still in the penalty box, and forget them. The money could go into other places. And sometimes it's frustrating. It looked like it was going to be a good one, but it's only day one after earnings. As a matter of fact, they just reported this morning. So I don't want to overreact to it, but I really don't like this. And it is trending down. I mean, look at the chart. It's made a wick bottom here. I wouldn't want to join the trend when it's wicking the bottom, but you've got to be kidding me, Boeing. How are you going to go red after that rocket ship that you already had? Unless I missed something in the middle of the day, story-wise.
There had to have been.
There had to. Yeah, you had to.
Look at the volume.
Ridiculous.
Oh no, that volume's from the morning.
The volume's not even that big here on Boeing. It's just.
Could be nothing then.
Yeah, I mean Boeing doing Boeing things, Alibaba doing rocket ship things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alibaba's an absolute beast in here. Wow, there's just no trend break on Baba. It's 327. We are getting close to the imbalances in like 15 or 20 minutes. My suspicion is there's going to be some activity on the chip names. There was a big imbalance on Apple and Nvidia. And Nvidia's needs to be gigantic. It was 3 million yesterday. It would need to be 5 to 10 million to be a big deal. but it was actually Apple that moved the most on its imbalance because relative to the amount of volume that it's done on the day, Apple's ended up being gigantic. But I'm going to keep an eye on the chip names that we're in and still Nvidia regardless. Drago saying it's BA. Yeah, sometimes that's enough.
Yeah.
You know, like the stock is what it is.
I mean, it's why we talked about it yesterday. Nvidia P&L number 1 yesterday. Nvidia is going to be P&L number 1 today. It's because we stay on the same stocks and we trade kind of that momentum. And again, today, Nvidia could have been PL number 1 in the whole. That is for sure. If you want to ask me any questions, or Neil, just tag us, of course. And here it comes. Oh man, I just got one. There it is, right here from Tamimi. I thought it was a great question. Does level 2 play a role in your decision when you go long or short? No, not at all. Especially today. It's funny because we had Obi come over here and he was talking about size on these level 2s, and right now they don't mean anything. So anyways, great question. I'll explain what I mean. Like, they just whipping through levels right now. If you're going to look at a level 2, the only thing I think you could watch would maybe be the attached time and sales, because that's really, it's the time and sales really that matter, right? I mean, that's where all the actions is taking place. You want to sort of see that for speed, but right now, speed of the markets is insane. I mean, you're going through tons and tons of volume over and over again all day. So I would just say be very, very careful if you're just looking at level 2, because this size over here doesn't really mean anything. I mean, I was going to show you what was at 128. I don't know. When it gets there, I'll show it to you. But they're not really even considering size on the level. They're just wiping out. Like, it's done 500 million shares, did 700 million yesterday, might do that much today. So for me, I don't really consider too much risk here in watching out for size. I'm just trying to play more key levels and just try to be right as much as we can be. And, you know, level 2 can play a part more in slower moving stocks, where I'll just call up DraftKings. I don't even know, just because it's a name I wanted to look at. But you see how on here you see 2s and 1s and it's a little bit slower. So if I ever saw, like, per se on DraftKings, and I'll just zoom down here at $42, there's no size. But if you're looking at a level 2 and you see, like, all of a sudden 1,000, like you see ones, each one of these levels are 100 shares. So when you see a 5 there, that's 500 shares on IEX, 200 shares on BATS. So the only way that I would use a level 2 as a decision maker would be if all of a sudden this turned out to be like 5,000. And it was like, oh my God, there's like a huge seller there. And how would I tell it was huge was just based on its comparables. And, you know, looking at the level 2, that would be a significant amount of shares right there. So that's what we're looking at when we look at these stocks and level 2. So I want to say thank you for that question. I think it's a great one. And for me on Nvidia, there's Tesla, by the way. I mean, someone at Pitchbowl just asked me again, tagged me, and I said, if you like the short, it's the exact same trade. It's taking the short against these levels and then playing it back into some of these lows. So there goes, I stayed away from it. I mean, Nvidia is now printing it just went into the 40s. I should have had a bid there. Let's put a bid back into the 30s. But I'm still trying to go short, so I didn't take that short in Tesla, but that was a good fill. And I don't know who it was in the chat again, but they're like candy. I think it was you, Pro Day Trader. You said Tesla tomorrow is like candy from a baby. Like, which levels do you like? Like, I don't see an easy trade.
In which direction?
Yeah, like, I don't really see an easy trade. I could be missing it, but
there's been questions about, and I can't believe we slept on CCL and NCLH. But just the only point I would make about
I wrote it down.
Using size for level 2 to get out of trades. Yeah, like let's make an example. Like, the example I would use is, because sometimes I will care, but that's like, oh, if I'm looking to get out at 104 on a stock, like, let's say like you're in a short, it's like, oh, first level is 104 to get out, and there's size at 104.05 or something. Well, then I'll bid 6 or 7 instead of 03. You know, like, that's, like, to me, that's what I use size for, because it's like, well, if you're trying to capture like a 35-cent move area and I can for sure get 29 because there's a buyer out in front, well, then just do that because there's size on the level 2. That's what I would use it for. Like, who cares? Your setup's your setup, but I think for the take profits, it can definitely matter. Sometimes if there's gigantic size on the offer, it'll make me like the breakout more. And you'll hear traders say that. Like, there was, I don't remember, I forget how many shares was on Nvidia and exactly what the level was, but there was one of those like Nvidia breakouts recently where everybody was taking it long, and the fact that it had more size just made everyone like it even more. People were just piling short in front of the size thinking it was cover, and then when it finally broke, it just meant it gapped even further. So sometimes it's actually the opposite of that effect. But to NCLH, They reported, well, RCL reported this morning, sorry. RCL reported this morning NCLH is going to be up on sympathy, and CCL is also going to be up on sympathy. So they're at 52-week, well, this is at a 52-week high. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. It's 27 minutes to go. I mean, a 52-week high break on the stock that didn't have the earnings this morning with 27 minutes to go, I'm probably not going to be leaning into it. And then Carnival, there we go. Carnival is actually through that breakout. So for me, looking at it tomorrow, which one, well, I mean, you guys probably know what I'm going to say here. Which one do I look to play for a continuation? Carnival already broke through by the end of the day, although it did do it, a little bit late here, and it's just kind of consolidating above that high. But this is where I'd look for the continuation play, would be in Carnival of those two. But it's RCL that reported this morning, and you're not doing anything with it. It's not doing anything on this breakout as we speak. So sort of is what it is. But yeah, Carnival was a good one. No questions asked. It's not just the cruise names. It's also the airlines. The travel names are they're a different type of beast now, and you got to respect them when they want to go. We're very, very close to our break-even trail, just a couple of cents. It almost tagged it here on Marvell, but you're holding on to this 104 level, so we'll give it another heartbeat. If it goes up and does a wick top, I might decide to jump back in around the same price and give it to the same stop, see if we can't get the range a second time.
All right. Just on RCI, a little bit of salt in the wound there because we have written it down 245. That seems to be the low. Didn't get down to that low because that's where VWAP was. So let's watch VWAP as we said it there on RCL. And we got to do a better job of that because there's the move up. Sure, you don't get 245. Like, that must have been where VWAP was at the beginning, but it was still down there, 245, maybe the 200 period. But see, off the open, you have a pretty huge move, right? I mean, 247 all the way to 255. So justifying the long, it feels like. And then this drip right there into VWAP. So that was a 250 VWAP long. So we keep talking about that over and over and over again, and we will continue to watch out for that. So that's going to be a trade there that we'll look for even tomorrow. Even on some of these bigger names, we have to be careful with it. Nvidia just kind of went up and down there. I don't know what's going on as we watch out for Nvidia. And again, that's still RCL on my chart. There it is. So we just got another fill. I'm trying to sort of get out more and more of these. We talk about that as the day goes on. We have to be very, very careful with what we are doing here with Nvidia because it's a strong name. It's up 8%. It's battling back from yesterday. And yeah, we've already had our fun with this name. And it was a heart attack because we'd almost lost our full day there on East.
Oh, I have a cool, quick question for you.
Sure. Do you want me to do the ad read first or should we do? Oh, okay, so let's do this really, really quickly. Look, scan that QR code. Traders, listen up. First month is now free. That's right, we're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite Advantage. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. This platform is everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with back testing. Like find out if your strategies are gonna work, man. Back test it, one of the best back testing systems available. Reliable, real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades right now. If you're ready to elevate your trading and grab that free month, you got to scan that QR code below and please check the description in our description down there. Click those links, get going. It's eSignal. That first month free, baby. We love that.
Love free.
And there it comes down again. Spin it. Money. I mean, I'd tell you eSignal gave me this trade, but really I got it myself. But we really like it there. Nice downside push for Nvidia, right into the 50-period moving average. And I mean, I wouldn't be able to have changed up my game, honestly, without eSignal. I've been using it, and now the whole floor is switching over to it, so we're really proud to have that, and we want to thank eSignal for that, because it's made a big difference in bang, bang, bang meal. Here we go again. Shout out to Obi back there, because, yeah, man, there it is, 127 and change. Oh, boy, we did it. Now, one more time here for you, and it's going to, I mean, it is a big trade. We talked about share size. We talked about layering into this one. It's Nvidia, and it's making them sing down there near 127 and change. The biggest biggest trade happened the biggest trade of the day happened right in front of you guys. As we averaged right into it, we talked about it, and eventually it happened for us. So there it was, man. This was also a big, I mean, basically both these trades on Nvidia were just straight fire. Messing with it in the middle of the day, we had some good winners, but this almost went against us. But Neil, just goes to that point. You know, stick with confidence, be confident in what you're doing, and when you finally get that confidence in your trades, up your share size. Up your share size when you are confident and when you have the strategies. That's the number one suggestion that I have for everybody. Practice, 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 stay disciplined, and then when you finally have it, get to that next level. Put on more shares to make trading the job and sort of the side gig that you want it to be. So there it goes, man. Just really proud to be able to put this on and show everybody that, hey, man, if you put in the work and you write the levels down and you trust in what you're doing, sometimes it will blow up against you. And this is the humility. I mean, we talk about this all the time, which is why we celebrate when we have this. I mean, Neil and I, we just talked about it. We just did a video that literally says, celebrate your wins. And then when you have the wins, then level it up, right? Level up your game. And I think you could do that with eSignal. And you could do that right here with your own trading, just simply by watching what Neil and I are doing, putting out some shares, and having some more confidence. We all deal with confidence issues, right? We have the ability to trade with unlimited amount of shares, basically, but you have to have the confidence to put those shares into the market. So level up your trading, level up your game with charts, and level it up with share size. So there it goes. Okay, so that's a good question. I think that's a good one here. I've only really ever used eSignal. So what it did for me was basically the ability, and we can do live demos here. It's 3:40. Maybe we should do this. But there's tick replays. You can have built-in studies. So this is a tick replay. So once you click on this, now I don't have, this chart's not set up for this, but you can now see replay from. Can you zoom in here, Ramin? I just want to show people because we're already what we're doing right here. Just zoom in to the middle. I just want to show what this says. So it says replay from. So this right here, yeah, right. All right, thanks, Ramin. Not everyone is as blind as I possibly am. But right there, you can just put this. Okay, now zoom back out. All right, so now as we go, it's just so easy to just say, I want to replay the day from this point, from that point. And what it does is it gives you the indicators at that time. So that's what I've done to level this up, is I've gone back and I've said, okay, I mean, 50-period moving averages weren't even on people's charts. Right now, all of a sudden, people are talking about them. VWAP, I mean, we did VWAP charts, Neil, years and years ago, explanations of VWAP. And it's because, again, we've back-tested it, we believe in it, and we're using those. So that's, to answer your question, that's how eSignal, and again, I hope it does the same thing for everybody around here. But it's changed my game, and I hope it changes yours. Just the back-testing thing alone. And then the reliability.
Well, I can tell you with 100% certainty, like we said this before already, we had a strategy on the European markets 15 years, probably 15 years ago, that our trading floor, everybody was doing it, and like 90% of the traders were making money, and it was completely impossible. I shouldn't say impossible, but we wouldn't have been able to track it and test it the way. It was very technical, the style. Like it was just like it would do this, do that kind of a deal. Not very much discretion in it whatsoever. And without eSignal, it would have been impossible. None of us had any experience trading that market. Well, a little bit, but it was, again, very technical. You needed back testing. You needed to know which symbols were doing it the best, which is impossible without tracking 100 symbols across.
Thank you, Dewey.
Across a bunch of different markets in Europe, and it was a great tool for us. And so I love it. I'm glad to get back to it.
Yeah.
Just one. So I'll get to just a change here. So trend in, trend out on Marvell. Now that it's broken 104, it's got a lower high. I'm going to respect that. With 7 minutes to go to the imbalances, I want VWAP. Well, more importantly, 103 quarters in here because that would be the full move. But if it breaks the trend to the upside, it's a bit of a moving target. I'll get that out if it breaks trend. Now, the question I was going to ask is, well, assuming there's two deals that could close, Juniper and DFS. Ooh. And if they do, there's going to be two open spots in the S&P 500. So one of the things, and I feel like usually we have in mind who we think is coming next. I know that was the case with the S&P and the NASDAQ when everyone always loved the idea and it was felt that Palantir would get in at some point, and Uber, I don't think that was crazy. But you have to start thinking about that this year. Unfortunately for Juniper, that deal might get blocked, but certainly there's going to be some openings this year, at least one, if not two, if that deal goes through. And that's what I'm starting to think about, because we actually just got this in our note on tip. I just saw it when I was going to see if there's anything at the close, and it's like, oh, spots opening up on the S&P in the next couple of months. So we should be starting to think about those types of names, and if they start making breakouts, maybe crowdsource this. And I'm saying it out loud because I'm hoping you guys will have some suggestions. Is AppLovin in the S&P 500? No, right?
I don't think so. It's relatively new, but I mean it.
No, right? Like that's.
Well, we can Google it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I could easily just go into Perplexity or Gemini and ask if that's the case, but I just thought of that out loud because that's a rocket ship that maybe we should consider it as the opportunity to do so. So I'm going to start thinking about those names. And don't go rush out and buy AppLovin or at me if it doesn't get added to the S&P. It's like one of the first things that came to my mind randomly just now. So I'm going to stick with the shorts here in Marvell. Alibaba, for everyone tracking that Alibaba move, now all of a sudden it's starting to slow down. So the barcode, like no fresh highs in the last 30 minutes here or 20 minutes on Alibaba. It's just been going inside move, 95, 295, half. Baba is very, very strong. Rigetti broke 13. Barno, what's up with LMT? Lockheed reported this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, so Lockheed reported this morning they're down 9%. So they did have. It's weird that we didn't mention earnings for Lockheed, but no one's going to day trade that stock. 3 million shares on $450 stock. They could probably use a split. Defense spending. Hey man, if they're going to do efficiencies and reduce government spending in a meaningful way, you probably need to do it in at least a little bit in defense. Yeah, not a very good day for LMT. Under the 50, under the 200. At some point, I mean, they can't stop defense spending altogether.
I think it's something that's going to become a buy.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at it. I'm like,
That's
you know what? I might consider buying this after a couple of days. I mean, come on, man. You want there to be peace.
Come on, man.
And I get it if you never want to invest in a stock like this.
Right, some people have.
I understand that 100%. Like, I totally respect it as well, but I don't know. I think there's going to be a money-making opportunity in Lockheed in the next few days. Maybe a little DCA action after Wednesday, and maybe look at this $400 level. Like, come on! I had no idea this was that bad on Lockheed. So, thank you very much for bringing that up.
Yes.
That seems like I'll have to read the report and see what the heck was going on there, because that's intense. 9% down when it was already bleeding.
There probably was a report of.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, why would there be decreased spending? I don't know. But
well, Doge, Department of Government Efficiency wants to cut.
There.
If you can't cut entitlements spending, well, they never do. So where else are you going to cut?
I mean, he's like, rhetorical question there. We'll have to wait to see. Doge they only found like 420 million or something.
They said 2 billion.
Oh, that's what the goal was.
Good luck.
All right, so I'm done shorting Nvidia here into the close. We're not. We have less. I mean, we have about 3% or so left of this trade. Our stop out is 128.10. So if it does go back up, I mean, we had cleared this out. We have the imbalances. I think it's absolutely.
3 minutes.
I don't want to say it's insane because I mean there's many more things that could be much crazier than this thought. But it's like this morning it was the largest imbalance. Yesterday it was the largest imbalance Nvidia. So to sit here and try to figure out which way we're going to go on this imbalance is a craze. But the thing about this also is this morning, remember I had that joke. I was like, on the imbalances, everything were buys. Remember I was like, B is for Brendan and S for, in this example was not for Sharif because he's a C. But look what happened today. And again, we just did videos about this as well. Like when these imbalances are bids, look what the day brought us. It brought us a huge opportunity to get short. What is that, Neil? What do you want to bet?
I want to bet you $1. I get Nvidia's the largest imbalance at 350. You get the field.
No, I just said that it was the largest one yesterday. No, I don't want the field.
Okay,
it's 500 million shares. It's going to be the largest. I don't even want odds. It has nothing to even do with that.
Okay, fine.
No, because okay, come over to the screen right now quickly.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Yeah. No, me and Neil just playing around. I mean, I do think we both think Nvidia.
Nobody wants to take the other side.
No, I just wanted to show you. I think we might have just missed it there. Okay, there was huge size, and I think, did it break 128 right there? Oh man, I was too busy thinking about that bet. It may have just broken 128. I was getting stopped out, and I want to thank Adara for her kind words, because she had said that I had taught her something there about stop outs, and it was because she had a great question the other day about using stops and getting trailed out and triggered out at certain levels. And I said to her exactly, and I gotta follow suit right now because it's making money for me. And that was, if you have, where's my bid? 65s. All right, punch some 73s. If you get your stop order at your exact level, like a 128 there, I think it might have broke. The day's high, can I get it on eSignal? I mean, why don't we just use eSignal right now, the most reliable charting software? Oh, I'm still on tick replay. Oops. All right, we got to get off of that. NVDA right now, we're going to see what the day's high is. Yeah, so see this? On eSignal, it's showing 128 clean. So like, if you, in this example, you wouldn't have got stopped out if you put 128.01. But often, especially in our platform, you will, and I'll speak for others because I'm not on any other platform, so I can't really speak for others, sorry. But like, it'll trigger a dark pool that might not register on other platforms. So we could have gotten stopped out, but my stop out is 128.10. Now, I still think it gets run. I'm not trying to say, ooh, that was so smart. But look what happens at the end of it all. Look at that movement. There's me getting out. We told you we had like 2 or 3% left. We got out of half of what we had left right there on that failed break, heading into this imbalance. Looks like Nvidia will do it again, man. 500 million shares on the day. So when this comes out in just a couple of seconds, we're going to cancel all this. We're going to only wait for NASDAQ in New York. So when they come out, we're going to get ready to rock and roll. I also have some more bids down here on Nvidia just in case we do flush out. But right now, hands are off. Let's see, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see, okay.
Whoa,
it must be a sell. Bang, we get those 60s. So there it goes. Neil, you were close to losing that bet. But like open door for some reason.
This
now
is why you
Nvidia's
could have taken the
taking it.
field.
But, yeah, I still would have lost.
Well,
if I could add up the field, fine.
But here's actually open is interesting because Nvidia's
look
paired.
Look at the chart though, just quickly.
Look at the paired.
Yeah, so open, there must be an imbalance.
Open is like 2.5 million and nothing is paired off. Amazon is 2.1 million with only 3 paired.
Index action.
That's the big deal. But Open's that's $1.50? Okay, never mind.
Thanks, Chamath.
Open is $1.50?
Yeah.
So anyways, thank you, Nvidia, because that spike on the algos, I didn't even see Marvell, but as a sell imbalance on Nvidia got Marvell down to the 103 quarter level. So look, it's an update for Marvell, but it's distinctly different, and it never broke the highs. Marvell is still underneath its prior support level. It's underneath the 50-period moving average. So even when it pops, as long as it's under 105, I want to look for the short trade there. I will double check Open. It's probably not moving.
I keep forgetting that.
2 million. Okay, never mind. It was a sell though.
Yeah,
I mean, you could
index action.
Look, let's be real. I didn't see an index action, but you probably could have. I don't know. Like you could probably have made a couple of cents risking 1 cent on that trade. But then if you're doing that, you have to have the ability to use a key where you're not getting blitzed on the fees. Like if you can like swipe a bunch of darks or mids, then that trade is doable on a $1 stock. But otherwise, it's completely useless. Right? Like even if a couple of points is good luck not paying a ton of fees and the spread unless you have access to multiple gateways. A real trading, there would have been a real shot at it, to be honest with you. But you would have had that stock up. You would have had to have had that stock up in the moment, and realistically, we're looking at Nvidia because
Nvidia was great.
I would have expected bigger than that. But 500 million shares, a 3 million imbalance, it seems like a lot, but it's not really that big in retrospect. I just saw someone flash 128, 400,000 on the offer. Good luck to that seller if it decides it wants to punch through. Or it's probably profit takers. It could easily be profit taking.
If you just look down here, we said that, oh man, maybe we'd get lucky here, and it looks like we may have just done that with those Nvidia fills. I mean, we just got them in the 60s again on that flush. We're like, we'll still bid here, and if we get them, then yeah, so that's what we did. We get those fills right there for Nvidia, and pretty happy for it. Just to end the day right now, I called this up. I actually forgot. I saw someone in the chat said, get ready for Fed. I was like, Oh, yeah. So right here, tomorrow, January the 29th, you will see right now a 99%. Kill them with kindness, Nvidia. We just take out 128 right there. Nice move. It's amazing that finally the level that we wrote down at 8 o'clock finally gets broken right now at 352. But right there, 99.5% chance of nada. So that's where we are right there. And if you go into the next Fed meeting, I don't think we get anything really. So here's March. Well, this is all going to change. You know, we can just go back. So in March, it looks like there's at least a third of a chance for a rate cut right there. This will probably all change after tomorrow. And then again, even into May, we still have a little bit of an expected rate cut happening in May. And then I thought in June and July, we start to move more this way, which we are. It should be 45% chance that we're between 400 to 425. And right now, of course, the expectation is a neutral Fed. So nothing tomorrow. We'll hear to say what they
Impossible.
say. This number has been pretty accurate, man. I mean, there was one time that I think it was 60-40, but the 60 still won. So, yeah, we have 99 problems. Nvidia is not one if you bought it yesterday. Like, wow, what a move, man. Up 8%. I know you did, Ramin, and I know I did. And we talked about this yesterday. I bought it during lunchtime yesterday, so I know we talked about it into the close, and there it goes upside. I've always said the only name that I'm buying on any dramatic dips is Nvidia. And we did that there, and it might be wrong. I don't know. We may start to I may get some of that out because we did put in a little bit there last night. So we'll wait to see. And as I was coming in this morning, I was like, oh man, this might not be the greatest idea. But it looks like it is. And it wasn't early, man. Nvidia actually took out yesterday's lows right there today. 116. The low today is 116.20. Like you're up now $12 almost straight upside. So again, buy the best names. We continue to do that. And I put Bitcoin in that category as well. That's the second last buy that I made too, was Bitcoin at 94,000. So, and then we bought the Dow. So, all right, yeah, 354 right now. Nvidia continues to hum.
Yeah, probably about to pair off, but just, when the second you said Nvidia broke the lows, I realized something that was a trading opportunity. I'll get it in a quick little second, but so Nvidia pairing off, as you can obviously see, you still have CNH and WFC and Ford, who cares, and Intel, 1 million to the sell. So even Opendoor no longer going to be there, 1.1. when it was a couple of million shares. So you expect that at 355, usually you're going to get those imbalances pairing. No, but when you said that Nvidia wicked the bottom, yesterday's low, my first thought was Marvell didn't. That should have been, like if you're using, a lot of times when Nvidia is doing what it's doing, it becomes a short-term futures for some of the related names. Nvidia wicks the low and regains it, and Marvell doesn't break the low. That should be a long reversion. Like it's the equivalent of the stock you're watching, like the NASDAQ breaks its low of the day and then holds, wicks it and then holds the bid, and you're trading a big cap tech that actually held its support level, go long to the prior low. Because when Nvidia did that, you could have actually just been long on Marvell, somewhere in and around here, and then just throw your stop underneath yesterday's bottom. 50 cents worth of risk, and it went right to the 105 level. That's the kind of thing that I like to look for. It's a missed opportunity, but only so much so because I was only thinking shorts on Marvell today unless it broke 105. But you always want to be able to learn for sure. Just a quick jump back. We only have 3 minutes to go. Tesla going to end up not closing the 400 level. That said, I do like this nice little zone here at 400 to 402. I think tomorrow, with the way it's ending today, that's kind of like a nice little buy zone. Like whether it's a 400 break or a 402 into 406, I kind of like both of those. But yeah, now all of a sudden Tesla losing the bid a little bit.
Nvidia got bigger.
Nvidia.
I thought it paired off. I was just saying under my
I was
breath.
just looking at it. It was.
Oh, did it change it into sell and then it went?
No, it paired to nothing. What the heck? 4 million to buy.
Yeah, it just came back in there. So it paired off and now back in. I think this could be a nice long here. I mean, I don't want to take it, but potentially into the close if you're looking for that last second scalp opportunity. Yeah, I guess you kind of have to be addicted to trading if you're doing that. I'm not going to do that, which normally I've been known to make some crazy trades here in the last couple seconds. But right now we're going to stay away from that with Nvidia. Join us, me and Adair tonight. But we'll have Starbucks on our mind, not in our cups, unfortunately. But they will be reporting later on tonight. SPCE. And by the way, getting that red cup, we didn't finish our coffee, but that seemed to work out right there for us. All right, Starbucks breaks $100. Bang, we like this name. I sold out of this name, man. This was one of those names that I was buying all of them dips, man. And if you knew how much, like, I spent $50-something on, well, there was actually, it wasn't that bad, actually. There was 5 of us.
You got food.
I didn't get any food, though, but the girls did.
girls got food.
Yeah, well, you get one of those little, okay, so a drink is $7, and then you get, you know, a little croissant or something that's $7.
Oh my God, I love croissants.
Yeah, but they get them like bacon filled.
I can't.
Yeah. All right, I got to get out of here. All right, wrap it up, man. It's a great day there. We'll finish the day with no LFT, so it's going to be a good one. Oops, I muted myself.
Oh, so Sean,
get up there.
Which is all good.
Yeah,
the recap's got some Starbucks in it. Sean's got to think about how much he's spending at Starbucks. I cannot eat croissants the same way ever since going to Paris. It's like, it's just not the same. It's weird. Like, I love croissants, but you get spoiled every now and then. So Nvidia, that buy imbalance, they didn't care. Nvidia is still pulling back in. It did pair off finally. So it was, you saw, I pulled it up and it wasn't there. Then Sean pulled it up and there was a 4 million buy imbalance. That is now gone and Nvidia is pulling back. It's still up 8%. It's still a super strong move. By the way, Alibaba, forget about the fact that Chinese ADRs like to slow down at the end of the day. Alibaba right at those highs. So obviously this was a bigger deal than anticipated. I'm happy in the old long-term account, but I'm not happy in that I don't mind getting out at resistance on the daily chart. But when it clears out and then holds that same resistance on the bid, which technically speaking until it broke out here it didn't, that can be a continuation play. You know, like I got out because it did not hold on to, because it didn't hold on to this level initially. This level initially. And then when it breaks out and holds above the 94 level and is past this, you can take that secondary break trade. So working off levels in the higher time frame is a good thing, but you also want to be able to jump over and reverse it when you get a chance. So only 20 seconds to go in here. It has been a blast off kind of day, 1.5 on the NASDAQ. ES is doing okay at 0.9, but that's because when tech rallies, you know how it goes. So let's get the countdown on. I might have started a couple seconds late, so just look at the one in the bottom left here, Adara, and ring it in 2 and 1. Let's go. And the casino is now closed, although in the long term, if you bet long, it is not a casino because you're going to win. Just buy good stocks. That's what the last couple of days have taught us. No questions asked. We got Starbucks coming after market, so let's be quick about this. Thank you, Fabian Ramin, on the 1s and 2s. Love the playmaker. Joe and Sharif, great job on the midday as always. Big shout out to Adair on the news desk, and of course, our good friend Brendan as well. But the market recap, there's a lot to recap the last couple of days and a lot to recap today, and you're going to have some Starbucks earnings as well. So let's get on to it. Oh my goodness, Nvidia actually made a fresh high at the end of the day. Did it really make another high? And I was just going to go over to Starbucks for you guys, but I just looked up and saw Nvidia is even higher. Starbucks already starting to move. I haven't heard any numbers, so let's get to the desk. You got the market recap right about now.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you, Neil, for that. We will have all of the earnings ready to go for you. We got Benzinga Pro platform in our ear. We're ready to rock and roll. Dara, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Tired,
Same.
but we are doing great. I want to thank everybody for joining us one more time here today as Traders Stay Late. What's up, Bears versus Bulls? There. Okay. We'll get that fixed in a couple minutes. But all right, let's go. We are waiting for Starbucks right now to come through. They're expecting 67 cents in earnings. We'll get that all figured out. I'm going to set this up to a 1-minute chart, and then we'll be able to have a quick look at Starbucks and see where we go on that one. Expecting 405 is the release there for Starbucks. Also coming out today. And again, I just want to show everybody, we do have the Benzinga Pro, close that, platform ready to go. So when that comes out, the earnings will pop in right here. Then we'll give them to you. Daryl will make sure they're confirmed and, you know, get you the goods. So when that,
yes, I will.
Yeah, when that happens, we will come through. So, hey, there, Starbucks quickly there. I know we're dancing it off right now, but looks like a nice little move higher right now in Starbucks. So we'll wait to see where this comes out. Just a quick little estimate here. 9.31 billion is what's expected. The EPS expecting 66 cents right there. Implied move over 6% is what the options have implied here on Starbucks. So if you're going to close the day at 100, we're looking for 106 or 94-ish to the downside there for Starbucks. But Oh boy, we had a great day today.
What a day.
In the market. It was a monster day. I want to talk to Adair about some of her trades. Despite the market being flat to start the day, man, did we have a nice battle back in the NASDAQ, led by many names, including Nvidia, of course, and then including the biggest and the baddest of them all. It feels like Apple right now has just been so strong over the last couple days. Apple today really got the day started properly with this upside move right from the jump. Let me go over to a 3-minute chart just to show you a little bit more. 3 minutes right there. There goes Apple. Really gives the day a nice little boost. It started early and it continued. The NASDAQ does not close at their highs, but it doesn't go out too far away from that. Here's the NASDAQ, a little bit of a pullback in. And if we're going to a daily chart here on the NASDAQ, you're basically couple good stories away, and those good stories could start now as we wait right here for Starbucks. We wait for Logitech, which could be a big one, LOGI.
Yeah, it has a pretty large implied move.
Yeah, exactly. So LOGI, what is the implied move there? 8%.
Yeah.
So we'll go 6.5, 8.5 for Logitech as we get ready to go. We also have SYK coming through as well. Stryker, that's a big implied move as well, over 6%. And then what is CB? That's a travel.
That's Chubb.
Chubb. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Chubb.
It's a
right
Buffett name, so I put it on there.
Yeah, security name right there, Chubb, coming out as well. So a few earnings plays that we are looking at. And we're also going to watch out for Nvidia. I mean, as this moves here in the after hours, even trying to go higher through 129. What a day for NVDA. So again, hopefully everybody's enjoying themselves. You could see here, we went to Adara earlier on in the day, and it was like, all right, sector recap. And even I remember Neil was like, oh man, there must be a lot of sectors up. And I turned to Neil, I was like, yeah, this market is blasting, but it was only tech.
It was not. Yeah, it was just tech that was blasting, right?
And then we got a late day bump there in FXI. Like, what's up with that? Right there. We talked about China possibly being a play. Remember, when everything, it's kind of like when everyone's thinking one way, like Apple's dead, Apple's dead. What are we going to do with Apple? Well, how about 10 straight up days or whatever it is, right? FXI, the same thing. Oh no, here comes Donald Trump. Here comes new administration. What does that mean to China? Does it mean tariffs? Does it mean we push and pull there on the what's allowed chip land? Starbucks now getting a pop. We'll get those in a second.
Yeah, I'm not
But
seeing it yet.
FXI, nice move, bouncing off the 200 period. Often, they're saying Meta has a new partnership possibly with Reddit right now. So I'm just hearing that right now out of my ear. So we'll get that for you in a matter of seconds. Right now, Reddit saying 3 minutes chart. Yeah. We can confirm something there. Nice move to the upside. What is Meta? I don't think Meta's going to care about that too much, but here we go. It is Starbucks, and it is a beat. It is a bang. It is a bang. It is a bang. So all that money that we spent on Starbucks over the last couple of years isn't really affecting me right now because I'm not in this name, but there goes Starbucks. Nice move to the upside. It just goes that 6%. It went to 106. So there's the pullback. Adara's going through the numbers now. She will have them for you immediately. We also have SYK. Stryker reports 2024 operating results. So there goes Stryker to the downside. This name, again, not too much volume, but 392 and looking a little bit lower.
Yep.
You guys want to see what a stock looks like on earnings? SBUX, just real quick. Nobody does this. I mean, other people on other shows, they're not even traders. They've never traded before in their life. I guarantee you, most hosts on other shows, potentially doing recap shows, have never, ever looked even at a live level 2. Don't hold me to that, but I feel like that's probably true. There's Starbucks right now. Decent volume, 104 and change for Starbucks. They're out, and it's a banger. Dara, let's go.
So here's the thing. These numbers are beats, but a lot of these numbers are down year over year, so I'm just going to go over everything. We did have a beat here for earnings per share for GAAP EPS, 69 cents versus 66 expected. Sales, 9.398 billion versus 9.316 billion expected. That is also a beat. However, here's where we get to the declines on a year-over-year basis. So apparently their sales were flat year-over-year, though again above estimates.
That's not great.
Global comparable store sales down 4%, 6% decline in comparable transactions. We've got a 4% decline here in comparable store sales in North America, 8% decline in comparable transactions in North America, and then we did have 4% decline in international comp sales. Basically, comp sales are down everywhere by a decent percent, and it looks like the our comparable transactions are also down. There was a slight increase in average ticket for US, but not enough to offset the comparable declines. basically everywhere else. There's another earnings name too, Qorvo, QRVO. This one rallied pretty recently. They're in the tech space. Anyways, they're up like 12%. So just want to let you guys know. QRVO, sorry, now they're up 18%. So Qorvo, another earnings play. This one just cracked the $100 area.
All right, bang. I'm just going to hit this right now. We're not going to do roll call, but I'm looking at the chat right now, and people are like, there are no other shows. What's going on here? Someone said, meet Kevin. I'd love to meet Kevin. Hey, Kevin, I'm Sean Katina. What's up? I'd like to meet you. Come on the show one day. This show is the GOAT. People are loving this, and I want to thank especially, I think it's Ailey here. Ailey, yo, says that Godspeed, this is the only show that they watch. So I want to thank you for all of that. And on that note, we do also have Logitech coming out. Adara, this is another banger. It doesn't look like it's going to go that 8.5%, but that was what the implied move was. It is Logitech starting to go to the upside. I mean, who else is going to bring you that Reddit news also? Reddit apparently confirmed right now.
Oh, it's not. I'm seeing unconfirmed, is what Benzing is saying.
So watching, okay, so that's good. I just saw right here, traders circulate unconfirmed rumor that the company is partnered with Meta Platform. So we'll wait for that to be confirmed. Thanks, Adara, as Benzinga right now drops the story, but unconfirmed there about Reddit. But hey, look, that was a beautiful move for Reddit. Meta also not moving on that. So we should probably, as you just mentioned there, hold our horses on that. Thank you, Babar, and everybody else, man. Best show ever. Everybody's really, really liking it. So we thank you for that. We want to thank Neil for bringing the heat as well on the show. And what a great addition Adara has been. A little light on earnings. We're getting Super Bowl earnings coming up very, very soon. Oh yeah, by the way, Adara, Super Bowl, still 2 weeks away. Eagles, Chiefs.
Eagles, Chiefs. I will automatically always vote against Taylor Swift. So that's Philadelphia Eagles. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'll be voting for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And one team is basically primarily red.
Yes.
And the Eagles are primarily green.
I love that.
So it's like a battle of the stock market right there.
I love that. Battle of the stock market, and we will not be voting for the Taylor Swift side. That's all I know. No friendship bracelets in this house. Also, yeah, I'm looking through X. I'm trying to find where this rumor circulated, this unconfirmed rumor. I am seeing nothing. I think this rumor might not be real. Like, people are saying, oh, it's circulating, but there's no actual posts that are showing this rumor. So I'm really confused as to the circulation of this. Be very careful with Reddit.
On Reddit, maybe.
Maybe, but also Logitech, I do have those numbers too.
Yeah,
Here,
let's go to Logitech. Let's call it up right now. Logitech, before Dara goes over the numbers right now, breaking through $97. Just a quick look. I know she has the chart as well, but Logitech right now trying to take this out. $92. They've already done that. You're all the way up here to 96. Next level for Logitech, maybe 100. All right, Adara, what do those numbers look like? Because right now on the 1 minute chart, it's a beautiful move to the upside. EPS revenue, 1.23 billion expected, and EPS expectation of 136.
So we do have, adjusted earnings 159 versus 140 expected. $1.59. And then sales of 1.34 bill versus 1.25 bill expected. I can show you guys these earnings right here, just so you know, up 5% here. Great look for LOGI. That is Q3 2025, so they're quite a few quarters ahead of the overall market, but great look there for Logitech. Then after that, we're going to be seeing, did we get Striker SYK? I'm going to look for that as well here.
You got it, yeah.
SYK coming through, the Reddit stuff had me a little bit. Oh yeah, so SYK, they beat EPS, they beat on sales. They announced their CFO is going to retire, and they did have kind of tepid EPS guidance, so the lower end of their EPS guidance missed estimates, but they beat on beat on the actual numbers for this quarter.
Yeah, no wonder why it's not super
It wasn't
exciting.
A super exciting
It's not. I mean, Striker right now is at its highs, and it's doing nothing. So, again, a little bit of algos back and forth here for Striker. So, it looks like you're not striking gold with this name, not today. I just had Novo Nordisk up because, again, FDA-approved Novo Nordisk diabetes drug, Ozempic, for kidney disease. So, again, like, wow, nice move up there, 85. It didn't really get going that much. I guess it was somewhat expected. As you could see, again, the algos get in there, then reality sets in, and I feel like Ozempic, we knew that there was other uses for these GLP-1 drugs, but it's really cool to see that the FDA now approves it, meaning testing phase now over. FDA stamps Ozempic now. I'm just reading it on my phone here, and I know you already had the story live on air, but for the diabetes drug for chronic kidney disease. So I think that's great. That means there's enough stats out there to help out those that suffer with kidney disease. So great move there. Did it affect Eli Lilly at all today? No.
I looked at the time and it wasn't much.
Yeah, so on the daily chart there, we did see probably, okay, that's into the close, but this news happened earlier in the afternoon. If anything, Eli Lilly goes a little bit to the upside because, again, if one drug is approved for something, potentially a competitor could also be approved for that same space. I've been really liking AbbVie lately. That's been a nice little ripper to the north side there off these bottoms. It's not great, but again, XBI.
They're on Friday too, AbbVie.
AbbVie, yeah, I really like AbbVie. Again, Botox was a big thing for them. And again, so nice move here on XBI, trying to get above the 200 period moving average. All right, what else is positive today? XLK, go ahead.
Sorry, I found the Reddit stuff. So apparently people are circulating this analyst note from Piper Sandler. Piper Sandler says that Meta appears to have added, that Reddit appears to have added Meta's campaign import feature.
Okay.
So that's all it is. It's literally just one tiny part of an analyst note that people are running on. This seems to be the quote unconfirmed rumor. So it's literally just Piper Sandler making some speculation here, guys. That's it.
All right, well, I'm going to pipe in. I
like that one.
That was all right. I really like Reddit right now. It's on an island here at $200. And whenever you get to those $200 marks, like you're up 10% today. Even in yesterday's decline, it's like a blip on the chart. It doesn't even look like anything even happened yesterday. And Reddit says no to that. Not only do they make up everything that they lost yesterday, but they make out all new all-time highs into $200 now. I mean, I want to Reddit and forget it because honestly, if you're on this name, you've had no reason to do anything with it. It hasn't even threatened the 50-period moving average, which is this pink line. I said just a couple weeks ago, and I think it was with Brian Shannon, we had him live on the show, and thank you, Brian. Normally he's with us, so join us every Tuesday with @AlphaTrends Brian Shannon, the author of Anchored VWAPs. Unfortunately, he did have some technical issues. He'll be joining us again next week. But look at gold. We talked about it having a potential spot in your portfolio. And today, with everything else red, you will thank yourself for potentially, which I don't have any, gold today. Good move. Nice movement to the upside. The world's not really, I thought there'd be a little bit more uncertainty. I haven't really heard too much about the Middle East conflict or too much about Russia, Ukraine since this new administration. And I always thought that gold, obviously, a nice little safe haven against uncertainty in the world. We did get a nice move in XLE over the last couple of days back in, which gives me, potentially hope. With more certainties, oil probably comes back in. Again, this is another sort of flight to fear for XLE, USO, and oil as well. But as you're looking today, TAN downside, do not, I know Sharif picked Nat Gas as one of his plays for this year. That's been getting really beat up, I guess, since we kind of made those plays, but still above the 200-period moving average. This could be a good name to take. Unlike TAN, which is solar names, this is under the 50, under the 200, and making new lows right now. You want to talk about breaking a ledge right here. Let me call this up on a weekly chart. Guys, any traders out there that are in solar names? I believe it, Darren. Trump is not against solar. I don't think that that's the case. It's just, windmills, man. But I think it's more the play that a lot of people thinking that energy and drill, baby, drill, sort of that's like...
Because he doesn't like green energy, like the new green scam, right? Is what he talks about a lot. Okay. So I think that's more what people think. It's not that he's like, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything super anti-solar. There's some anti-windmill sentiment. There is some anti-New Green Deal sentiment. To my knowledge, though, nothing. But I think people lump it in because of his opinions on other things. Also, we do have the Chubb earnings, though, here, if we want to get into that. It's been kind of like loosey-goosey. Basically, they reported, I'm not really seeing this compares to estimates, but apparently their life insurance was up 7.5%. Their P&C combined ratio, 85.7%. Nothing crazy here for CB. Just lots of metrics that, quite frankly, I am not super familiar with, but that is what's going on there for CB.
Okay, so I was just gonna say if I had a water there, I'd take it, but we don't, so that's okay. All right, so let's just figure out what we want to do moving forward. So here's CB, not a huge move at all. This is the daily chart right now, so we'll flip that over now into the 1 minute chart just to give you guys a little bit of a look. So it is ticking a little bit higher, but on a $275 name, Oh, I did have a water over there. Chin chin. All right. Oh, you can see we have a nice little trader. It's hard to see. Actually, this one's been too much through the wash. Oh, you have here. Cheers to the water.
Cheers.
You have a better. Show them the. Can you see? Can you?
It's our old logo
there it is.
now.
So I got the trader.
Because we have the new Pepsi logo now with the swirl. But this is the
Mine is
TTV.
vodka, hers is water. So, all right, let's keep going there. Yeah, so that's nice. We do like that new. Well, we have the new logo.
That's what I said. Yeah, we have the new
We should
Pepsi
start
swirl
selling some
logo.
merch. No, I don't know. Or at least
I would buy merch.
give it away.
That sweater you have is really cool. Like the day trade the
We'll
world.
wear it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have a couple
Shut up,
hoodies.
merch.
We have a couple hoodies. There when we used to do that. We might even still be selling it. I don't even know. All right, so let's keep going forward here. As earnings basically have sort of slowed down, let's just take a quick look at Starbucks, and then we'll talk about what we were seeing throughout the day. So now Starbucks still trying to take out those highs. I'm not going to really consider that 106 area. I mean, sure, it was there, so we should consider it, but right now it's kind of like we've been up here into 105 and failed off of that. So I'm looking for a 105 break now in Starbucks. If we can get that, I think that would be fantastic, because right now you're trying to break. There's 105, that little tick in the dark right there. We'll see what's going on, but it's a nice move again to that upside into 107. This man is back, so we'll just say thank you so much one more time. Bang, get some calculations going. I don't have spinning the money, but here he is right here. Thank you so much, David. You were here earlier, and the note about David was, if I got this correct, retired officer, I believe. I want to thank you again, in your 80s, living on a retirement income. And he's just mentioned that some of the things that Adara's taught, myself, Neil, basically the whole Trader TV Live team, David has improved his trading to the point where now he supplements his income with day trading. So I want to say, I hope I got that close to being right there. Thank you so much to David again. That's 150 smackers today. Does anybody even say that, smackaroonies or something like that? I feel like my
Smackaroos.
Smackaroos. I feel like my
that's it.
grandfather used to say that, so now I'm really getting on there. But thank you, David, again. It does mean a lot. And look, man, I just run from the desk right there 20 feet over to here. So we go from trading right into doing the show. Adara's here for you all day. By the way, fancy belt. I just noticed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got it for my great aunt or something. Got it for me for Christmas, birthday.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's a nice little shout out to I believe Reitman's. For the little
diamonds are forever.
Good times.
We like that one there for sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's keep going now. All right, so Tesla and Microsoft. Tesla was an interesting story today because it does, oops, that's not Tesla, that's still Starbucks. That's Tesla. Tesla was an interesting one today, and we can look at it. Maybe we'll go back and do a 3-minute chart so we can have a better look on the overall day. So today, Tesla, again, it tried to make it back to that $400 mark that we had seen yesterday in the after hours. It did do that, and man, did it come with vigor. Like, it was really going there into the close. And then we kind of identified a possible trade idea, which was shorting into that 100 using some of those wicks, 400, using some of those wicks. That looks like it paid off there at the end of the day. But we also talked about going both ways, and that's why you got to have your stop order in, because when you broke through 400, it was worth taking into that little bottom wick of 399.60. Once that broke, it was fade city for Tesla. And again, the report was Tesla and Microsoft tomorrow after hours. So we'll wait to see what Tesla wants to do. Microsoft again today. We had that, what was that? Altman and Satya Nadella tweeted something out.
Their selfie.
Yeah, it was a selfie announcing, and it was Altman's tweet that was saying bigger and better things basically to come with Microsoft. I sure as heck hope so, because Microsoft right now needs to get going just a little bit. If you're looking at the daily chart, like, you have to be happy with where a lot of these names are, especially if you were worried about uncertainty heading into January, especially with the change of government and the new year and potential selling coming in, a selling wave in January. So you have to be happy with where Microsoft is, but I just can't wrap my head around what that next thing for them are. We talked about Azure. We talk about now with DeepSeek there. Does that actually sort of start to cut a little bit into ChatGPT? And again, Copilot, I don't think that's been very successful. Some of those PCs that they were building, I don't really hear too much talk now about AI PCs and Microsoft. So I still like Azure, I still like the cloud, and obviously we like their connection there with OpenAI. So we'll have to wait to see if Microsoft can deliver the goods. Are you afraid of DeepSeek or not? We'll find out tomorrow where Microsoft is on their capex and where they think that is moving to. It's a whole new world every single day. You never know what you're going to wake up to. Microsoft today, nice move. But if you're Mr. Zuckerberg, you're probably... Wouldn't that be so cool? Forget about the Jake Paul versus Logan Paul fight. Come on. I cannot believe that's actually
Who's watching that?
Apparently, like, Neil was like, I'm watching. Like, these guys don't want to watch other fights, but they want to watch this fight. Sharif seems super excited about it. So maybe I'm wrong.
My thing is too is people keep forgetting that Jake Paul will do anything for money. The man literally got married, fake married for money on MTV in the summer of 2019. It was a show, and you can Google it. So my thing is, cool, he's into fighting now, but soon it will be like if you get money for putting garbage over your head, I'm sure Jake Paul will enter that sport as well. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, no, but I mean, even if he's taking boxing seriously, it's not. To me, it's about entertainment, right? I mean, I can't wrap, at least with the Tyson fight, I felt like, I mean, first of all, we can see what it did to Netflix. I mean, it rocketed up Netflix, right? I mean, Netflix, in the week leading into the Jake Paul fight, they got something like 10x the subscribers and even more than that. And you can see Netflix on the daily chart just continues to take out highs. The thing about it was, at least with the Tyson fight, there was an idea that maybe if Tyson caught him with something, even if you think it's rigged and it was all a show, which probably it was, at the end of the day, when two brothers are fighting each other, especially when one is employed by the WWE, he's not going to take on Logan Paul's champion over there.
Wait, actually?
Yeah. Logan Paul fought Floyd Mayweather and actually had a great fight. I like Logan Paul. I like both of them, honestly. As an entrepreneur myself, I have much respect for both of those individuals, like a lot of respect. And I respect Jake Paul more for not putting Tyson on his ass. But at the end of the day, I can't get behind that fight. To me, I'd rather, like, look, Royal Rumble is coming out this weekend, I think, on WWE. Watch that. That's scheduled and planned, right? So, I'm going to Hell in a Cell. So I like all that kind of talk, but not that it's a real thing. All right, let's move on off that. We're taking way too long on that. CrowdStrike had an excellent day today, Adara. As CrowdStrike, I'm just trying to read the note here about CrowdStrike. New all-time highs on strong ransomware tests. So I feel like that's super important right now. In the space, you're going to be getting a lot of sort of outside influences coming in, trying to hack into things. We're obviously worried about crypto. We're worried about quantum. And if these guys right now, and again, the thing about quantum is, and I think this is about ransomware, just keeps attacking and trying to break the code. So if these guys have software that can maybe detect that happening early, potentially out of the way there with CrowdStrike, all-time highs. So we say bang to that one. We also like PanW trying to get back there. Neil said that he's sort of switched from CrowdStrike into PanW. I like that call as well. I like cybersecurity. There are plenty other names. I think the next name, though, as we try to skate where the puck is going, Fortinet. Look at these guys trying to break higher. When do they even report? Feb 6th. Eyes on Fortinet in the next couple weeks as they break and go higher and higher. So it says here, it seems like Adara's coming out of her shell.
Oh.
I felt like you came out of that a long time ago. And I thought maybe, and you might be right onto this. Thank you, David Blackwell, again, for another 20-pack. You know what, Adara? Tomorrow, let's buy everybody Starbucks.
I think that's very timely.
No, Fabian, or yes? Okay, we'll have to get Fabian something else. I just thought we've got a lot of this. We're having a lot of fun here today. Starbucks reported. Thank you, David, right here.
Thank you so much
to leave
David.
Message. Your show's the best. This dude made $3,100. Oh, I got to hit this calculation. $3,100 today, $28 today, and what is that number? 80. Are you saying that you made $88,000 or $88 since February? But wow, David, I don't care if you've made, or since January, if you made any money, thank you for all of the super chats there. And we really respect traders that are calling out sort of some of the lessons that we continue to teach here on the show. And that's what it's all about to me. And I always go on these little rants all the time about trading. And I just think that if I don't do that, then a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. You have to be able to sit around, put on shares, put on trades. And David, with those kind of numbers, it sure as hell sounds, sure as heck, sounds like you are doing that. So a big congratulations. Your boy ain't up $88,000 in the last 6 months, really. I mean, that's a monster move there. Congratulations to you, Mr. David Blacklock, crushing the markets. But Adara, I don't know if you're logged into your platform.
I am.
Or if you have a chart up as well.
Yeah.
Adara told me today, we had it live, a question live on this show Monday.
Yes.
Or was it Friday? It might have been Friday.
It was Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday
Okay,
that I asked you, I think? Yeah.
On one random day in the week, last week, we had a question from Adair. She asked me about stop orders. I told her, just put them a little bit outside of your range. And if you get stopped out, you're still going to get stopped out, but at least you're not going to get wicked out when your exact level hits.
Yeah.
So Adair, you turned to me today and said that was a great trade that you had. So let's discuss the trade that you had today, because enough of me.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. It actually happened twice here. So basically the first, well, I'll show this one first because up first, we had CEG, Constellation Energy. I liked this 272 breakout long on the 15 minutes. So I'll switch to the 15. And I was like, you know what? It was so tight. We're going to risk to bar lows. So I did risk to bar lows, but I gave it a couple cents below the bar lows. So we actually did get below there on the bid, but because I had a midpoint and I gave it enough room, we didn't get stopped out. Nice. We continued to push to the upside. My best out, I was able to take, let me math this quickly, just over 5 points on this. I was really happy with that. And then Boeing came along, and I will fully admit I sold Boeing far too early. That is not even a question.
Board. I can see it before.
But yeah, I was really happy with this. I liked that we had this push to the downside. Again, risking to the bar high here. And again, this, I actually thought I did get stopped out, but because I gave it a couple cents and because it was a midpoint, it was able to work out. We were able to take that move to the downside. So I really wanted to say thank you for giving me that advice, because you were able to give me the confidence to kind of finagle the stops a little bit, still risk appropriately, and it worked out. So thank you very much.
You're the one that made up that confidence thing. I'm just trying to pass it along to everybody.
Thank
I just
you.
want to say thank you to
Appreciate
everybody here, because this is really what it's about too. What's up, Martina? She's saying that we have a lot to do besides just trading. So focusing on hosting and trading, and we say that too. Although I always consider myself a trader first. And the story about this is just really funny. Like, I was teaching traders all around the world, and then the owner of all of this came up to me and was like, dude, we got to do this more to everybody. And then so I started talking to more and more traders internally here at Real Trading. Then we decided to add our good friend Neil on, as me and him go back 30 years. More than 30 years I've known Neil. We went to grade school together.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So like grade 7, grade 8, we started becoming more and more closer friends into high school. And I'm still friends with many of my high school friends. I can't say friends too much, buddies, alums, as we go way back. And we're still in a football pool that is over like 25 years old. The same pool keeps running with basically the same people. We've rotated in and out. Yeah. Basically, core 8, we go in and out.
That's really cool.
Also as well. So, all right, that's just a little bit of a wrap up there. Look, it's been a huge day. I mean,
we got another super chat too.
We did?
Easy peasy.
All right.
$9 super chat.
Why don't you handle it then?
Well, it says Sean, so I guess we'll say Sean. You helped me to go. I'm guessing it's helped me. You helped me to go from $300 a day to $1,000+ a day since March 2024. I find myself trading like you now. Thank you. And thank you, TTV. Well, for that, I have to say thank you, Easy Peasy, for supporting the show, for being here every day. This great participant in the chat. And shout out to this whole community, and shout out to Bears versus Bulls as well. Really cultivating and moderating this amazing community. I'm so happy to be here every single day.
Yeah, no, and I just want to say thank you so much, Easy Peasy. I mean, we've seen you in the chat also. And look, that's to each their own. We talk about like how much money is necessary to become a successful trader. Irrelevant. As long as you're enjoying yourselves and those numbers are green, and you feel like you're at a certain level, sounds like you are. So thank you to that one. Easy peasy. Well, then you got to hit that there, my guy, Fabian, because right now it's 4:30, and that's the bell. Actually, we're going to get that alarm over here because right now we're not really done yet. We could talk about a couple more stocks. You want to do that?
I mean,
all right, quickly. You know what?
I also will tease the earnings party tomorrow. We have the earnings party tomorrow. It's going to be, I found out about this today, literally on air. It'll be myself, it'll be Sharif, and it will be Neil. And we're going to be going over earnings. I have some graphics prepared for TTV research. I didn't even know it was happening until Sharif mentioned it. So all good, though. We're going to be going over these graphics. We're going to give you guys some info. We still have not really figured out how we're going to do it yet. So it'll be a mystery to all of us. And I'm excited to see you all there. 4 p.m. tomorrow.
You know what I was going to say? Right into here, as you guys send super chats. The super chats are absolutely great. What's actually fun on the show to do is when it's just like someone orders something in for us.
That happened before too.
So I was going to say, like, the money is great. YouTube takes a cut from it, obviously. But at the end of the day, thank you so much to all of the super chats today. David, Easy Peasy, and anybody that super chat, and all of our new members. So with that being said, hey, we're getting short on time. So that means it's time for roll call. All right, again, thank you to everybody. I want to give a big shout out to Bears vs. Bulls. Thank you so much. You mean a lot to this program, and I know you know that. So a big shout out to you, Bears vs. Bulls. Hey, look, man, Dinkelberg says this right now. Today was great. tomorrow will be awesome. I mean, I think that is 100%
I love
right.
that.
That is right here. This is what you need to do. You need to get the mental part of it right, because like I was sitting in that Nvidia trade and I was actually going to show it. We ran out of time. It's like, I'm like knees weak, arms are sweaty, right? Like all that kind of stuff. Like as we sit in there, we're like, is this going to work out? And then bang, it does. That's the confidence that you need. And we have it in tomorrow as well. Even if we're green, red, it doesn't matter. Stick with your goals. You got it. Great point there for Dingleberg, I think it was there. Aaron is here. Holler at your boy. So Aaron, if you've ever seen that.
D-Nice.
That was funny. Yeah, D-Nice is there as well. Ravi's here. Helgi's here. KNT is here. Damien's here. Sister from another mother or something like that is here. Andrew Chow. Drops Trades is here. Adara, anybody else? I see Pepper Pot.
Yeah, we've got 3 7s. We got Easy Peasy again. Thank you to Super Chat. El Sol, Juan Padilla, Dewey, Sir Poopy Paper Hands. I love that. I had to read it. Callum Mitchell Miller. Hugh, I'm just going to say the first part of this because you're trying to trip us up there. And Bears versus Bulls, I'll stop with again. Thank you so much to everything you do. And thank you, this whole community, for being here every single day. Congrats to everyone for learning, for doing well, and for just growing. I love it.
I have an important announcement to make that I think we didn't talk about it enough. And it's, don't brace yourself that much. Because it's, what day is Michael Noss coming? Because he's going to be here.
Friday?
Yeah, it's either Thursday or Friday. So we're getting excited for that. Michael Noss will be here in the building. That should be a lot of fun on Friday for sure. And maybe even tomorrow. So get ready for that. You know what? It does look like, again, thank you so much. Here we go. One last super chat, and then I got to get the heck out of here. Thank you. Love to David Blackstone. Send Starbucks to Toronto. That'd be great if someone wanted to do that. But again, thank you so much, David, and everybody else. It really does mean a lot to all of us here. Regardless of the super chats. I mean, look at this story on Reddit. It's funny, I saw someone on CNBC, or someone just said in the chat that CNBC just covered this story like 2 minutes ago for the very first time. We brought this to you almost as a rumor down there at 194, 195. Now you're up to 202 and change. I even said I like Reddit at this 200 level, so there it goes. Thank you so much to everybody out there. Hey, it's been a great show. Thank you, Fabian, for staying late. Thank you to everybody. We keep on talking about this. But for now, this is a potato.
And this is a pommes frites.
And those are French fries. And we will see everybody tomorrow. This is Trader TV Sean, and that is
Adara. Trader TV.
Adara. Oh, is your count back up?
No, we're still working on that.
Okay.
X needs to contact me a little bit more. I'm going to have to talk to Elon.
So follow us. Trader TV research page has been absolutely
TTV research
as well. So get over there. TTV research. Go follow us all on X, all on Instagram. But for today, that's a wrap. So we will see everybody tomorrow. For Trader TV, Adara and Sean and Fabian and the rest of us, thank you so much for joining us. And join us tomorrow, please. And thank you at 8:30. And tomorrow's recap show is going to be a blast. We have tons of earnings coming through. This is your place to be for the next couple weeks and forevermore. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you at home, Marissa.
See ya.